What's up, people? We in here, we out here in the garage. I got this new Spotify like music thing playing in the background, so I'm hoping I can. I might need to kill it. I might need to kill it. Plus, I knew YouTube would strike it, so whatever. Let me turn this down. I thought I could do it, but I feel like maybe I'll start singing or something. How's everybody doing? You guys hear me okay? Let me. I'm gonna pull the chat up and see who's here, what's going down. The night before the Academy Awards, man, the 98th Oscars, and what an exciting award season, am I right? Not as exciting if you're into having accurate predictions, I guess, but because they could go awry pretty quickly. Let me pull up the comments here, see what's going on, see how everybody's doing. I saw Anthony earlier. What's up, man? How are you? I know you're in the house. What? You may do a gaming stream? I don't know. I was thinking about doing perks for my members, and I thought about doing something like that. I thought about doing like have my members watch me play Mario Kart. Do they stream that anymore? I don't know. I feel like that was streamed in the early 2000s, but that's probably the best I could do. I do play Madden and sports games a lot, so I don't know. Maybe that'll be something. What's up, Rodney? Rodney's in the house. Could be a surprise. Could be interesting. You mean the stream, or do you mean the Oscars? Both. Both. Just going down here saying what's up to everybody. See if you guys have questions. Oh, let's see. We got a new member in the house. Let's see. Let's see. New member here. Glad to make it to a live stream. Nick, thanks so much. I think I saw when you joined the other day, man. I really do appreciate it. You're the best. All my members are just phenomenal. We actually haven't checked in the last couple days, but I think we were up to like 72 members strong. We were at 67, and I was like, do I stop the count? But I kept going. You guys are good, man. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you as always, man. You're the best. You guys are all the best, and thanks for being here. To everybody else, what's up? Going through the comments. Hello, hello. Thanks for being here. Let's see. We've got a question here. Oh no, that's just a statement. I think there will be a Delroy upset from Parsnip Burger. A lot of people think so. It's not even that I don't think so. I mean, I do think it's a possibility. I think if that happens, Sinners is the big winner on the night, though. So that's what you can keep an eye out for. I hope they don't do anything stupid like they did that one year with Chadwick Boseman, though, where they like changed up the order of all the awards. Like, don't do that, Academy. Just do the show, okay? And the only reason I say that is because if Delroy Lindo wins, that'll be one of the early awards. It'll probably be in the first half hour of the show, if I had to guess. That's what they usually do with the supporting performances. I think both of them, but I know at least one of them is pretty early. And if they do it early and Delroy wins, it's a Sinners night, because that's a shocking upset based on what Sean Penn has in his basket. I'm not saying it can't happen, because it definitely can, but for it to happen, I think it would have to be a heavy Sinners night. But that's definitely a possibility, Parsnip. Hold on to that rabbit's foot if you're pulling for it. I'm by myself tonight, guys, going through the comments here, so let me see. I just want to make sure I say hey to everybody to see if you guys have a question. I see Corey's in the house. Corey says that he is scared. I saw a couple other people saying that. Corey, don't be scared, man. It's fine. You know, it's good, man. It's really exciting. Now, if you're scared for your predictions, then I understand that, because I am too. Because, you know, you don't want to blow it, you know. But what's funny is that it can go so many different ways, you know. And even when I was doing my own predictions and I was locking those in, obviously there's a bunch that I don't feel comfortable about. Like, I'm not warm and cozy about a bunch of them, particularly Leo and lead actor, right? I don't expect to get that one. The Secret Agent International, I kind of went out for that movie. I don't feel as good about that one, but I'm strong enough for me to stay with it, right? A couple of the techs, you know. I stayed with Wunmi Masaku and supporting actress. I feel like Amy Madigan's really strong there. So I'm scared in that regard. But as far as like being a movie fan and an Oscars fan and just celebrating film and the year in film, we're good, dude. Like, we're feasting, okay? I know a lot of people, a surprising number of people actually lately have been like, it wasn't a great year for film. And I'm like, what? Like, I feel like it was like just a stellar year, you know? So, So I don't know what's going on with that. YouTube's giving me an error message. Can you guys see me okay? I'm gonna make sure you guys can see me okay. I just got an error message from YouTube. So just let me know if there's an issue with the video coming through. I don't think so, but just let me know. But yeah, don't be scared, Corey. We'll be good, man. We'll be good. Let's see what else we got in here. Hey, Kayla's in the house. Kayla, I see you. I see you, Kayla. Another channel member's in the house. I don't know why this thing doesn't let me pick up where I left off. There we go. Okay. BCT says, why do you have at number 3 for most likely to win Best Picture? Oh, I'm sorry. Who do you have? Let me pull up that comment real quick. Who do you have at number 3 for most likely to win Best Picture? I mean, Hamnet. But, I mean, it's, you know, if you're just asking for logistics at this point, because let me pull up my award expert app. I'm always positive I put Hamnet in 3rd. Let me take a gander here. By the way, I see all these folks, a lot of friends of mine actually that I know personally, but even some other folks that I watch on YouTube or listen to podcasts and stuff, and they're like changing their predictions and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that this year. I get it because I've done it before. I'm not doing it this year. I did this on Tuesday. I recorded that video. I think I put it out on Wednesday, or I think Wednesday. I'm not touching it. I said once I post this video, unless I put like a little disclaimer on the video of something I changed after I was editing or whatever, I'm not changing it. So the video got published to YouTube. I had Leo on there and a bunch of other crazy shit. And I said, you know what? That's it. Those are my predictions. That's it. Because what I do every year, let me answer your question real quick. Hamnet is my 3rd right now. One Battle Centers, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, Begonia, F1, and Train Dreams is my 10, is the order of my 10. I think I have my Gold Derby because I have to share a website. I can't share an app for my phone, but I can maybe pull up Gold Derby. I think I have them the same on there as well. This is my first year doing Gold Derby. I set up an account on there and stuff. I swear if this thing does not stop, me and technology guys, we're about to get into it. But it's like leaving where I was left off in the comments. If there's any like super chats or anything, I'll jump to them, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to scroll through these as best I can. I'm going to look for questions and see if you guys have any. Anthony says he still doesn't think it's going to be that chaotic tomorrow. He says maybe actor and supporting actress, maybe international. Yeah, all those categories are pretty, WTF. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see what's up with Christian here. Ooh, it's 3 a.m. there. Hey, remind me, did you tell me where you are? I'm trying to stay up a little bit for this. I've been watching you constantly through the whole season and our delusions of Wicked. First of all, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I feel like I have to entertain you now. It's 3 a.m. where you are, man. But thank you so much for being up. Elizabeth, what's this all about? It says you just subscribed, but you're already subscribed. We got channel member Elizabeth in the house, but it just told me she subscribed. I don't know what that's all about. Elizabeth, welcome. Oh, here we go. Here she is. Christian, thanks for being here. I just rewatched Marty Supreme, and it is purely incredible. Elizabeth, I agree with you. It's a bummer that movie could blank. Channel member Elizabeth there. Isn't that insane? And I saw somebody else mention, it may have been Kayla, actually. Yeah, here we go. And then Kayla said she's cramming Sentimental Value in. Oh, you haven't seen that one? Kayla, that surprises me. Channel member Kayla. I would have thought that you would have saw that a long time ago. That's so what I was going to say, and the reason I put those two comments next to each other is because how crazy is it that with the exception of Anora last year, my favorite movies just don't do well, even if they get nominated. So my 2 favorite films among the 10 Best Picture nominees this year are Marty Supreme and Sentimental Value. Those are my personal 2 favorites. I love all of them. But those are the ones I would rank 1 and 2, or that I did rank 1 and 2 when I did that countdown. And they could blank. Now, a lot of people have sentimental value winning international, but I have Secret Agent winning there. Obviously, sentimental value could win that, but if it doesn't, it's going to blank because I don't think Stellan's going to. I mean, he could, but it's like a less than 10% chance right now for him. And then Marty Supreme, if Timothy wins, right? Otherwise, what's that going to get? I mean, it should really be in the front runner for like casting, production design. I really respected the costumes nomination in that movie. I thought it was great for that like 1950s post-war kind of feeling. But yeah, those two movies could blank, and they're my favorites. So I don't know why I'm surprised, but yeah. Who was that? That was Kayla, right? All right, here we go. Let's see. Rodney says, if Sinners can get 3 acting wins, the first since 2023, for the same film, because that was Everything Everywhere, right? Yeah, I don't, man, that would be a Sinners sweep, dude. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think Sean Penn's got the strongest basket for a one battle acting prize. I just don't see him losing, man. I mean, I love Delroy, and that's the number one most excited I was for a nomination, was his nomination. I don't know. Man, I don't know. That is such a strong precursor haul for Sean Penn. It really is. And the other two categories, to your point, I mean, MBJ is really the front runner right now. I mean, really. I mean, or at least you would say him and Timothy are neck and neck, And with Marty Supreme being a weaker film, you would go with the stronger film. I mean, that's the tiebreaker. So even if you think they're tied going into the night, like we were just saying, I don't think Marty's going to win anything else. So it's going to be, it's probably going to be a big night for Sinners. But if it won all 3 of those acting categories, because we know Jesse Buckley's winning, right? If it won the other 3 acting categories, forget about it. I just won't even look at the Award Expert app at that point. I mean, I love Sinners, so I'm not going to be upset, but my predictions will be upset. But yeah, that'll be a Sinners takeover if that happens. But to your point, it is absolutely in the realm of possibility, which is what makes this award season rather exciting, to be honest. All right, let's see. If I see any questions, guys, I'll pop them up. If you want something like immediately answered, because I am scrolling through these comments myself, throw up a super chat. If not, I promise I will get to you because I'm here. I've got my Benicio. I got my few small beers. We're all friends here. If I have to pee in the potty, I might put up a little BRB screen, go take care of business and come back. But other than that, I'm here. It's Oscars Eve. I'm pumped. I want to see what questions you guys have, and I want to kind of feel the vibes out there. I saw Corey earlier said he was scared. Don't be scared. By the way, I don't know if you guys want me to try to play this music, because you guys can hear it on the stream if I turn that on. See that little player down there? What the hell is this, by the way? Better than Ezra. Man, 90s rock, am I right? Okay, let's see. Do you think there can be an upset for original song with I Lied to You winning? I have concerns. And that is, my vision is horrible, but I think that says Dimsmo, right? Dimsmo 9103. You have concerns because you're pulling for Golden or because you're pulling for I Lied to You? I think, this is a weird year. So I will tell you what I think, but I should preface it by saying I have no idea. I think Golden is safe. K-pop Demon Hunters is safe for animated and for song. I think that those two, as far as I'm concerned, those two are locked up. Again, kind of like what I said with Delroy, if this happens right here, I would think that Sinners is probably your Best Picture winner. And the more of these types of wins that compound on each other, let's just say it goes that way, because what else could possibly happen? Like Ruthie Carter could get costume design just because she's Ruth Carter, right? So if that happens over Frankenstein, if this happens over K-pop, what else? If it wins Best Sound, which it technically really shouldn't right now based on the precursors with the F1 and even One Battle too. It's probably, honestly, technically third in that category, really, if you look at the precursors, the report card. But if it starts to win those categories that really it's not favored to do so, or really even be close to number one in those categories, then if you're a Sinners fan, you're in great shape. So to answer your question, I'm not sure what side of that you're concerned on, but I think Golden should win that. again, the only reason I think I Lied to You would win that is if Sinners is just taking over the Oscars tomorrow night. But otherwise, I think it's a golden win there. Okay. This would be so much better for me if it would just stay where I left it, Man. I see somebody mentioned the Surratt sound design over there, and I got something for you guys on that. Oh, it's not giving me the jingle, but I see Mikey up there. Let me get to your super chat. Luckily, it puts the super chats in a separate area for me. This new software is called Meld. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I really like it, but I'm still learning it, and the Oscars are tomorrow. So when I do live streams, it's usually in preparation for the Oscars. So it's not like I'm going to have a bunch of opportunity to practice with it. So I'm probably going to, test it out on my members and stuff after the Oscars, but I'm still kind of getting used to where everything is. But let's see. I got a super chat up here. Let's see what we got. Thank you so much for that, by the way. EK, I know EK. Channel regular. 1 to 10, how nervous are you about your picks? 10 being the most nervous, I guess. It's funny, man. I'm not really. Like, I'm not. You know what I get nervous about? I get nervous about, like, the haters and the, like, negative comments. That's really what I get nervous about because, I don't think anybody here, or definitely, like, my regulars, like you and my members and stuff, I don't think you guys would be guilty of this, but no matter what, people hate on you. And, I could predict anything, and they'd be like, why are you doing that? I had somebody call me racist earlier on Twitter because I wasn't predicting Sinners to win Best Picture. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's what that means, but okay. So that's what makes me nervous, really, is like if I get a bunch wrong and all the haters come flooding in, which they've done with Wicked. I see Mikey. I'll get to. Why is it not? Last time it gave me the jingle. It's not giving it to me now, but I see it, so I'll get there. Just people flooding me with like hate comments and like you suck at this. Why are you that kind of shit. That's what makes me nervous, really. When it comes to the predictions themselves, like I was talking on Twitter, my friend Alyssa over there that does Next Best Picture with Matt and those guys. I was telling her we were talking on going back and forth on Twitter, and like I locked my shit in on Tuesday, and I literally until the viewer asked me for my third movie, I haven't even looked at it. I'm not changing it this year. I'm locked in. I feel fine. I'm not nervous, and to be honest with you, there's really no scenario, at least that I could foresee happening, that would upset me. Nothing. The only thing, and you guys know this, is if Kate Hudson won lead actress. That's the only thing where I would probably end my stream and just walk away and turn the show off. Other than that, I'll be fine. I mean, literally, that's the only thing I can think of that would even upset me. So it's a good year. It's a good year, Thank you so much for the super chat, though. I appreciate it. Let's see. We've got another one here. Another super chat from Elizabeth, channel member. What's your favorite Best Picture winner of OAT of all time? Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's a good one. My favorite Best Picture winner of all time. Man. That question could be... I'm probably not going to remember all of them either, so I'm probably going to forget something. But my favorite movie that won Best Picture of all time, at least that I can think of right now, is probably Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood, which I think was 93. My favorite, like, win of all time, that was like a really cool win, although I do love the movie a lot too, would be Parasite. Because it was very similar to this year, actually. And I was like, I love Parasite, but I'm not even going to get baited by that. I'm not picking that, And then it won. But Unforgiven is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm trying to think of Best Picture winners, at least in my lifetime. And that would probably be it. Again, unless I'm forgetting something. And hit me with yours in the comments, too. I'm curious what yours would be, Elizabeth. But that's a great question. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Let me get back to scrolling through the comments here and see what's up. If you have one you want to answer right away, you can throw it up there. If not, I will get to you as soon as I can figure out technology. So it might be a while. I'm just kidding. They're right here. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to remember where I left off, though. Oh, there's Kayla's comment. Okay, I saw that one. All right. Okay, there we go. And we'll talk about the original song already. Parsnip Burger says, their favorite movie of the year is Surratt, although you picked Sentimental for international. Yeah. I went Secret Agent. You know what I'll tell you, Parsnip? And I made too many swings on my predictions. Let me throw your comment up there so people know what I'm talking about here. I made too many swings on my predictions, so I'm not doing this. But I really, really thought about doing this. Surratt, with the sound department at the Academy, that's the kind of winner they would hand out. Like if F1 wasn't as strong as it was in the lead up, in the precursors, because it's pretty strong with the wins that it has. If it wasn't like that and it was like different winners and like whatever, then I would have been more comfortable calling Surratt in sound. But that's something that could happen tomorrow night. And I know I've only got like 50 something people watching, but you guys watching, if Surratt wins best sound tomorrow, just remember that your boy in the garage told you that that's a definite possibility. If I didn't have a bunch of crazy picks already, I may have picked that because that's the kind of winner that they would kind of go out for in that category. I mean, think of the Zone of Interest even, you know? I loved it, but it was also a very like sound design coded Oscar win, you know? And that this is kind of similar to me in that regard. So keep your eye on that one. I think it's F1 and Center is really in the mix, but Surratt's right there. It wouldn't make me mad either because I love, of all things in that movie, I really love the score and the sound design. Elizabeth's over there throwing some crazy shit out that I don't even want to click on. She says the Safdie and Timmy take their categories, and then F1 wins all 4 of their noms. I don't even want to click on that. You know, actually, I wouldn't be mad about that, to be honest with you, but I would be shocked about all that shit. Alex says he hopes One Battle wins for Best Movie. Oh, I see what you did there, Anthony. I see your comment there about watching Wikipedia. I see what you did there. Okay, let's see. So let's see what we got here. Felix, I did not. I stayed with Mikey Madison all year, and I know I got some regulars over in the chat. They can vouch for me, but I had her all year since like May or June. I never got off Mikey Madison. One of the things about making changes at the last minute is because that's probably one that I would have made because I was feeling that Demi Moore surge. I really was. I was like, man, she's got the narrative. I love her. So emotional when she got on stage at the Globes, like, you know, and it was a horror performance, and I'm a horror guy, as you guys can probably tell behind me. So I was like, man, I think I'm going to change this, you know, but I love Mikey. I rode with it all year. I'm like, why am I going to change this now? It just cleaned up at the Guilds the weekend before that. I think it was the weekend before the Oscars last year. So I stayed with Mikey to answer your question. But it was tough. And, you know, last year, just to give you an example, I went 20 for 23 last year, which is probably the best I've ever done. It's definitely the best I've ever done since I've been on YouTube. But I would have been 21 for 23, which would have been like phenom status. But at the last hour, like 2 hours before the show, I changed my sound. We're just talking about sound. My sound prediction from Dune to A Complete Unknown. One of my misses last year was I went with Timothy for A Complete Unknown. And I was telling myself, he can't win that if there's not something else for that movie. And they love music, biopics typically, and the sound. It was probably number 2 in that category last year, in fairness to me. But if I hadn't changed that, I would have been 21. And one of the 2 misses would have been Timothy. And then I think I missed one of the shorts last year. So, man, I'm not planning on doing that well this year. But yeah, just to give you an example. But I did stay with Mikey all year to answer your question. Guys, throw up any questions you got. I want to see how everybody's feeling. Night before the Oscars. Oscars Eve. Elizabeth, channel member, says I should rank every nominee of the 2020s Parasite to One Battle. I did what the hell did I do last year? I did like best picture winners of the last 10 years or something like that, which would have been with Honora. I think I might did I do Century this year? I can't remember if I did. I have a Century series where I've been ranking films of the century, but I can't remember what the last ones I did were. Let me go through some of these. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope everybody's feeling okay. I'm trying to read some of these. What's up, movie guy? How you doing? You'll have to remind me your first name, movie guy. I feel like I know this, but I can't remember right now. channel member, though. Thanks for being here. He says, have I seen all of this year's nominated films? I have, with the exception of 2, and that's because I can't see them. I've tried. I've reached out to the studio, everything. But I haven't seen Kokyo, the one that's nominated in makeup from Japan, and I haven't seen the documentary Cutting Through Rocks. Otherwise, shorts included, I've seen everything. So, at least I think so. Dude, you guys can't hear it, but I have Creed just going off in my earbuds right now. I kind of want to turn this on for you guys because I have it. You guys can see the little player down there in the bottom, I guess, left for you guys. I can turn that on for you. And I have this thing, I don't know if anybody here might know and can tell me, but I have this thing, they have this thing called a VOD track or VOD track, which I have that selected. I guess that's supposed to like hide it from the algorithm so that it won't flag my video, but I'm like paranoid that it will flag my video. Does anybody know what a VOD track is? Is that legit on YouTube? Because it's like background music. I could play it for you guys. I'm just afraid they'll flag the video or demonetize the video, which I mean, whatever, but that's the only reason I have it muted right now. Yeah, so I see this comment. Let's see. The Ugly Stepsister was your favorite movie, was it? Yes. Yes, that was my number 1 film of 2025, and I saw that early. I saw that back in, like, June, maybe? But yeah, May or June, and all year. Because I gave out my mid-season awards, like, in the end of June, and I had just seen it, so I'm like, I saw it a couple weeks ago. Maybe that's why it's kind of, like, still fresh in my mind, because it really floored me. I don't know if you liked it, too, but I loved it. And I gave it Best Movie and Best Female Performance for the Norwegian actress in it that plays Elvira, Leah Myron, at my mid-season awards. Never in 1,000 years when I was doing that did I think that was going to be an Oscar-nominated film at the end of the year. Or I would have talked about it then, but I didn't think that was... By the way, I don't know if you guys heard, when they did the bake-off for the makeup, a lot of people think the reason that The Ugly Stepsister got nominated is because the filmmaker, the director, is a female director, and the producer, one of the producers, those 2 people did all the makeup on like a shoestring budget. They didn't have like a makeup team for a lot of the shit that's in that movie. And I guess everybody was just so impressed by the like, just grassroots, like indie style of that. And it got nominated, which is really cool. Obviously, it doesn't stand a chance to win, but that would be amazing. Parsnip Burger says he didn't like Marie Supreme. That's cool. I get it. It's the Safdies are, that's a style, man. That's a style of film. I'm more curious if you liked Uncut Gems or Good Time or any of that stuff. I wonder why this YouTube thing is telling me that I have a poor connection, but you guys said you can see me and everything okay. I don't know. Ooh, I see Mikey. Let me know if you guys see Timothy too. What is it for Timothy, Anthony? You're still over there? When does Timothy pop up? I think he pops up when somebody subscribes, right? I think. But yeah, I see Mikey. I wonder if I'm going to change it for this year's lead actress. It would have to be Jessie Buckley crying though from Hamnet. I really want to do that. I guess she has a couple of happier moments in that film. Let's see. It's EK again. I appreciate it, brother. Let's see what you got here. Or sister. I think it's brother, but or sister. Closer race. Actress last year or actor this year? That's a great question. If you're, I guess there's 2 answers. If I'm answering that question based on like 2 people in the race, no, actually it'd be the same answer no matter what. I think this year's, because last year we had, in fact, last year I would equate kind of similar to what we're getting in supporting actress this year, if you think about it. Because Wunmi Misaki only has the BAFTA in a strong film. Obviously, Sinners is stronger than Anora was, but you know what I mean, just comparatively. Right? Amy Madigan has a lot of other stuff. Horror actress, right? Has the SAG. Demi Moore got the SAG. Makes sense there because of the narrative. So, ironically, that supporting actress race looks a lot like last year's lead actress race to me, which is one of the reasons, and I think I edited around this on my video, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't change from Wound Me. Because if you do that as a comparison, then she is Mikey this year, and Amy Madigan is Demi Moore, right? Because, I don't know, it's just a horror performance from a veteran actress that has not got her due from the Academy. Same thing with Amy Madigan. That's a horror performance. In fact, that's a little bit more horror than Demi Moore was in The Substance. I mean, I guess that could be argued, but nevertheless, it's definitely a horror villain performance, right? She has the SAG, but are the Oscars going to go for it? If you're basing on what happened last year with Demi Moore, I would say no. You know, is Amy Madigan's narrative stronger than Demi's? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, maybe. But that's one of the reasons why I try to use that logic to not be baited by that. And I also talked about this with my friend Savannah that I had on the other night. If you guys checked out that video, it was on the channel on Friday if you want to check it out. But I was talking to her. I'm just so cynical when it comes to horror and the Oscars. I just don't have a belief in them to do the right thing when it comes to horror movies. I just don't. You know, if they prove me wrong and they start a trend of like, and I'm not talking about nominations. It's really good that we're getting nominations even with Sinners this year and Substance last year. And like, you know, I'm all about that shit. But start awarding that stuff, you know. Start giving the gold out to these movies that, you know, the old folks probably don't even want to watch in the Academy. You know. Until they do that, I just don't feel great about it. I'm sorry I kind of got off on the thing there with your question, but I would say this year's about these races specifically, because the actor race this year, the lead actor race, I mean, I wasn't joking when I said on my video that any of them could win. I think any of those 5 actors could win tomorrow night. I really do. I think Ethan Hawke is the least likely just because Blue Moon is weaker than the other films involved, right? And he hasn't really won anything, at least since the critics group started handing stuff out. So, but the other 4, and really Ethan Hawke could be a long shot too, just so you guys know. But the other 4 for sure. I mean, obviously you guys know I think Leo's in the mix because I went with him. And we know Timothy and MBJ are in the mix, right? Wagner Moura's in the mix if Secret Agent can win other things. And I've got it winning international, which would place him in the mix. He has the Globe win. I don't know. You know, I mean, last year, Fernando Torres was in the mix, very similar to Wagner, actually. But it was really just Demi and Mikey at the end, you know? It's just those 2. Whereas in this race, you could argue 4, maybe even 5 of them. You know, which way's the wind going to blow when they open the envelope or when the voting ended, you know? I don't know. You know, I when I went out for Timothy, I gave a bunch of criteria on my video if you guys watched it, but I said that, you know, the main thing is, because even if all that other hypothetical shit is not true, which we'll never know if it is or not, but even if that shit's not true, and that's just a pipe dream or a hope diction or whatever, you still have the fact still is that Timothy and Michael B. Jordan went into that voting window basically tied, especially after the SAG, right? So what if people are, half of them are voting here and half of them are voting here, and Leo's just sitting here getting all these one battle votes and all these like prestige legendary, I'm Leo, you know? And they love Leo, you know? So do I. Fuck, you know, sure. I mean, it was a great performance and a great movie. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I preface every predictions video and stuff like this when it comes up. I don't know. I tell you what I think it is, what I kind of see happening, what I feel. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, and that's fine. I love all those performances. If Michael B. Jordan wins, I'll be ecstatic. Loved him in it. Loved him in Sinners. Been praising it all year, right? It's a horror movie. Of course I'm going to be happy about that. You know, I'll get the prediction wrong, but there's a difference between missing a prediction and being pissed off about a victory, you know, and I won't be. Like I said, with the exception of Kate Hudson, sorry, I try to limit my mentions of that on this video, but with the exception of that, I'm not going to be upset about anything. So, but I would say this year's actor race to answer your question. Thank you for the super chat. You're the best. I appreciate it. Let's see. Kayla says, I can't remember, are you planning to do a live stream after the show? Tomorrow night, I put up a goal if we get enough super chats. I wanted to see if you guys were interested in it. So if we get enough super chats, I'll do it. You know, I'm going to be recording my reaction when it's on, and Logan might be in some of that because I'll let him stay up to watch it. So he might pop in and out. And I'll piece that together to the like big awards or surprises, and I'll put that out on Monday. Just like my regular reaction video, but it'll be what I recorded when I was watching it. But last year I did a live stream when the show ended, which was great. It was a lot of feedback and, you know, commentary about what we just watched and stuff. So I know a lot of people stream during it. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. So maybe I will do a stream after it. So if you guys are interested, throw up some super chats and we'll see what the interest level there. But it's something I might do because I did it last year. It's a lot for me because obviously I do work on Monday, and I want to get the other video edited out for you guys. But I see Logan's name in the chat. I'll get to that in a second. I hope it's a good comment. That's my kid, so I hope it's a good comment. Let me get back to where I was here. Yep, ugly stepsister. That's where I was. Okay, ugly stepsister. Okay, so Christian, I see this, but here's the thing, man, is that we don't know, dude. You don't know, right? So I'm just put your pencils down. You're good. You're good. Or at least if you're going to change it, don't be swayed by what you're hearing. And that's what I get messed up with. And I did not do that this year. So Amy could absolutely win that award. I think I just told you a little bit about why I didn't go with her, but that doesn't mean that's right. I mean, she could absolutely win. She has the package to win. She has the lineage, the people love her. She's a veteran, etc. And Wunmi has what she needs to win based on her precursor haul, really of just the BAFTA, which is enough, honestly. We've seen that time and time again, that's enough, even when we think it's not. But guess what's not enough is just the SAG, historically. Now, I know Amy has other stuff as well, but that was the last award that she received, which is something that she should have gotten based on who she is, really. You know, change if you want to, but just do it because it's something you want to do, not because you heard people doing this and doing that, you know? So I didn't want to get locked into that this year. We don't know. In some of these races, we just don't know. So, all right, answer that for her. All right, here we go. Yanny channel members in the house. You know what? I think he will. Because we were looking at it today, actually. And I said, you know what, dude? I think you're going to at least tie me. Because he picked... Okay, let me tell you guys real quick. So my son, if you don't know, it's on the channel. But what Yanny's referring to, my son, who's 12 now, ever since he was 8, I think, we've been doing it where he makes his predictions. And he doesn't know... He has no context. He's seen very little of the nominees. Doesn't, like, watch prediction... Like, he doesn't know anything about, like, the vibes, right? So he sits down this year, and by the way, he's gotten Best Picture right 2 out of the last, we've done it for 3 years. This is the 4th year, so we don't know yet, but 3 years that we did it, he got, the first 2 years, he got Best Picture correct without knowing anything. And last year he picked Dune Part 2, and of course it wasn't Dune Part 2, it was Anora. But other than that, he's got a good record on Best Picture. But listen to this. So I went, and this is after he recorded his thing. So he went, I'll tell you what he went. He did One Battle in picture. But listen for the acting prizes. He did Amy Madigan for supporting. He did Sean Penn for supporting actor. He did Jessie Buckley. I think he knew that one. He was like, oh yeah, Jessie Buckley. I don't even think about that. So he must have heard me talking about that one. And then he did Michael B. Jordan. Cool, right? That could absolutely happen, that 4. Well, guess what? The only one of those I picked was Sean Penn. So I did it after his. But I picked Penn, Leo, Wunmi, and Jessie Buckley. That was it. So he's got at least 2 on me. If it goes the way that people are saying it's going to go, he'll get those 2 on me, which are 2 pretty big ones. And he also didn't really have any crazy tech predictions, I don't think. They're pretty good. So I think he's actually going to do pretty good this year, Yanny, to answer your question. Let's see. I really wish Jacob Elordi had a better shot at winning. One can make the argument that he had the most challenging role with all the makeup and with Frankenstein having been done so many times. I agree with that. His situation, I don't know why I cut your name off. I'm sorry about that, Emmy. His situation is very similar to Amy Madigan's with me early in the season, where I just didn't really believe in it at first because of the horror thing. And I was just like, I don't know, you know. But then when it started kind of happening, I was like, oh, cool, this is great. And usually that makeup win well, nomination, but definitely win, will tie to the actor that's getting the makeup a lot of times. So I thought, well, maybe that will help him, and he started out with the Critics' Choice, but then the wave just didn't continue. That was a bit of a surprise win for him at the Critics' Choice Awards, and I kind of saw that coming on the night. If you watch my reaction video, I was kind of like, I think this is going to go good for Frankenstein, and then he ended up winning. But going into the night, it was definitely not something a lot of people were thinking was going to happen. So he had momentum. And when I did my 30 under 30, which I'll do that again this year, guys, probably next month and sometime in April, but I'll wait till after the Oscars. But when I did my 30 under 30, the criteria to be on that list is that you have a possibility of being nominated for an Oscar in the next 5 years. And I did that last April, and he got nominated. So, and somebody else did this year too, that I put on there, I think. Anyway, I had to look at the nominees to remember who it was. But yeah, so I think that he definitely is on his way to doing some good stuff that's going to get him notoriety, and this was a big step in that direction. I just don't think, even with the makeup win, I mean, we're trying to say that Delroy might upset, right? Which, the strength of Sinners, that could happen. But I mean, with that being a possibility and that narrative around Sinners, and then Sean Penn being as strong as he is in another really strong movie, it's a tough hill to climb for anybody else in that category, but Jacob Elordi is part of that too. But I think it will happen for him. Okay, what's this? She's what the hell? What the hell? Why? What? Yeah. Somebody told me on Twitter that he's gonna have to take over the channel if he beats me in predictions this year. Oh man, if he's taking over the channel, you guys are cooked. He has no time in between his Little League baseball. He's in middle school now. He won't stop, playing PlayStation and all that shit. I mean, you're gonna get no videos from him. But we'll see how it turns out. Let me get back to where I was. Here we go. Dr. Robertson House. What's up, brother? How you doing? Channel regular. Keep in mind that only 3 films have won 3 acting Oscars. Yes. Yes. It did happen recently with Everything Everywhere, which you mentioned there. Streetcar Network. Yeah. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. And I wasn't trying to say that I thought that was. I think it is a possibility that it could happen. But I also think that would be a clear sign that we're in for like a national holiday around Sinners. I mean, that would be just like domination, especially considering what's going on in supporting actor, where Sean Penn really has a really, really strong resume to get that. That would just be a huge upset for the most part. Movie Guy says, what category am I most looking forward to? Interesting choice of words. It's going to sound cheesy, but I'll give you another answer because you're not going to like this answer. But the short films, all 3 of them really, but the shorts, I loved them. They're all so good. And I'm just wondering if I'm doing the right thing by going out for one of them, because I told you guys I wasn't going to make any changes. And not a lot of people are predicting The Girl Who Cried Pearls for animated short. I think that's going to win. I do. And it's also my favorite. So that was really the tiebreaker for me, because I thought it was pretty equal in that category, with the exception of The Three Sisters. But I thought the other 4, any of those could win. Now watch it be The Three Sisters, which has happened before, where like the worst one or the one that's worst received wins. That happens a lot with the shorts. But yeah, I thought it could be Butterfly or Forever Green or Retirement Plan, really. But The Girl Who Cried Pearls should be the winner in that category, and that was my tiebreaker. But I'm excited to see what they do with the shorts this year. And then to give you like a mainstream category that I'm excited for. I mean, again, looking forward to is a weird, because I don't know if that's the way I would describe this, but I guess I'm most anxious to see some of the, like, I'll give you one, for example, but there's a few that fall in this bucket where it's like, kind of, we know what it should be, kind of, but if something else happens there, that'll tell us a larger story. So like cinematography, right? I would probably say cinematography, because that should be won Battles Award, just so you guys know. Like, basically swept any award this season that the cinematographers themselves in the industry vote on. It swept one battle. That should win. But I'm kind of pulling for Arkapaw to be the first female to win in that category. And she's a woman of color, too. So that would be a big historic victory, and that should have fucking happened by now. And it's crazy to me. So I'm kind of pulling for somebody else, even though I picked one battle to be the winner, because I think if Arkapaw does win that, just as an example, then that's Center. I mean, Centers is taking it, you know. But I'm anxious about categories like that because, and Train Dreams is really a possibility in that category too. And what does that tell us? I would love it because that's actually my favorite cinematography of the year of everything I saw is Train Dreams. But what would that tell us if Train Dreams wins that? Nothing. It tells us nothing. It might actually help Centers a little bit more though if you think about it, because it means they actively went against what the industry has been voting as the winner all season, which was one battle. So that would actually hurt one battle a little bit more if Train Dreams were to win in cinematography, I think. But yeah, I'm curious about that category. You know, editing is another one that really should go one battle. I've gotten to a point where I'm almost like whatever wins editing is winning Best Picture, because if one battle wins that and then they win Best Picture, this will be the 4th year in a row. Or conversely, if Centers wins editing, I'm probably going to think in that moment that they're the Best Picture winner. It's just starting to go that way. We'll see what happens with the casting award, which I think is Centers too. Is that going to also tie to Best Picture? Or is that going to be kind of like the box office achievement bullshit that we get at the Globes, where it's like whatever movie can win this, but it's not going to be the Best Picture winner? I don't know. I mean, we don't really know what that category is yet. But I would say to answer your question, to keep it to one category besides the short films, it would be cinematography. I'm just going through some of your comments here. Ryan's in the house. What's up, Ryan? Channel regular. I don't know why it's cutting y'all's name off. You want me to try to fix that? I try to fix that. I don't want to mess up the stream. Try to fix that. I'm glad I found your channel 9 months ago. Oh, thanks, man. I love your optimism analysis on award season. Thanks for the hearts. Tomorrow will be my 4th watched Oscars ceremony. There you go. Are you a young dude? I'm curious. I had Savannah on my show this past weekend. I've been following her channel lately, and she is a big Oscars buff and a horror fan. So I was like, I thought I was the only one, but okay. But she's young too. She's only been watching actively since Everything Everywhere, she told me, in 2023. You know, I love seeing that perspective though, and this is what I told her on that video that we did, because you can take out all the bullshit because you get clouded with that stuff. The Oscars are different now. So when I sit down to do predictions now, since I've been doing my channel, I mean, I don't go pre like 2015. Because everything before that was different. You know, I mean, you just can't really hope that something that happened 25, 30 years ago is going to translate to 2026. And frankly, in a lot of ways, it really shouldn't. So I don't really go back that much further. So I love seeing that like fresh perspective, because you only know what you know. So in your case, 4 years. You know, I only know this 4 years. What have I been seeing from the Academy in that 4 years? And honestly, that 4 years that Ryan has there, guys, would probably be a better snapshot than what some of us have for like decades. Because you could really drill it in, you know, drill it into what's been going down. Thanks for being here, Ryan. Thanks for the positive comments, too, man. I appreciate it. I try to be positive, and I love when you guys are positive. Cam said he did the same thing in sound last year with Complete Unknown. I had to tie it to Timmy. You know, I had Timothy win in there. Man, I fucked that up. Could you guys imagine if I had gone 21 for 23? I mean, 20 was good, but there was a lot of people that did 20, so it wasn't like the standout. You know what I mean? Let's see what Josh says here. Josh, thanks for being here. Says the international voters will decide actor. If not Michael, it is Timmy all along, or it is the Wagner traditional on the ground campaign as the dark horse. Yeah, I think he is strong because of how much he's been out there. And I do think Secret Agent would have to win something else, so I don't see Mora winning it with nothing else for the movie, because I've had friends in the industry that are out there right now, as we're sitting here talking, that have been talking to voters that didn't even watch The Secret Agent. It's one of the lesser seen films of the 10. Ironically, shocking that it's the international ones, but Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Hamnet, actually, are the 3 that are being underseen by the voters that they're talking to, which I find really sad and frankly disgusting. But I don't know if that would hurt it overall because it's got to get that international feature or casting, and I think casting is a farther fetch, even though it's one of the better casting of the year when you think about the craft of casting a film. But in terms of what's going to win, I mean, it's probably Sinners, but that's another one that would be a tell. Like if Secret Agent won casting, I don't know when they're going to give that award out. I don't know if it's going to be before international or not. But if it did somehow, then you go, whoa, wait a second, get Wagner's people on the phone here. We might be winning a fucking award tonight. I mean, that's what that would be like. Some of these things on the night of, they can tell you a story pretty quickly. That's why I said editing is always a big one for me. If editing goes to something that's not in contention for Best Picture, then I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what the fuck's happening. But if it goes to like one of the 2 or 3 movies that are in the running for Best Picture, like when Sean Baker won it last year, I was like, we're good. I don't even need to watch the rest of this fucking show. It's going to win. And he did. He did. And I also knew Mikey was going to win, who I had predicted. I was like, I'm good. This is it. So that's why if One Battle wins editing tomorrow night, I'm going to feel great. Depending on what's happened, of course, but assuming everything's still kind of up in the air at that point. But it's exciting this year. I'm not going to be upset no matter what. Oh, Zek, you know what? Zek just called me out. You're right. That's also one I have not seen. I'll throw it up here to call myself out. So you're right. There's 3 movies I have not seen. Zek, how'd you know that? I've not seen that one, but you're right. So I have not seen Kokio, Cutting Through Rocks, the documentary, and Viva Verde. I've not seen that. Maybe I'm actively forgetting about that one on purpose because that took Wicked's spot for original song. How the fuck did Wicked blank at the Oscar nominations? Does anybody know that yet? Have we found out an answer for that yet? Put your people on that and get back to me because that's still the craziest shit I can even think of right now. But you're right. Thank you for reminding me of that one. I don't even know what that's about, honestly. At least I know what the other 2 are about. Parson about C that you said you never saw Uncut Gems. You know what? If you didn't like Marty Supreme, you probably won't like it. SCW wants to throw this in the mix. Rank these Safdie films: Uncut Gems, Marty Supreme, Good Time. That's tough, man. I love all those. Shit. I would probably say Marty at 1. I was trying to take the recency bias out of it, but I just love Timothy so much, and I just loved it. So I'd probably say Marty, then Uncut Gems, then Good Time, although those 2 are kind of tied for me. Yeah, I see your comment there too. Hang on, I'm going through some. I know I'm way behind, guys. I'm sorry. I got a lot of people watching, and I'm trying to go through it. If you have something pressing you want to throw up a super chat, I'll prioritize it, but I'm going to go through these. So I see Emmy here says, also if I see a question mark, I'm trying to answer some questions for you. Do you think that Jacob Elordi being so much younger than the other contenders? Yeah, I mean, that always hurts, especially for not so much, yeah, supporting too, I guess. I was going to say that always hurts, like, especially for young dudes versus women, which is a weird stat, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that inherently is going to make it a little tougher for the younger actors. But that's an undeniable performance. I just think that, I mean, with Delroy and Stellan Skarsgård in the mix this year, right? And really Sean Penn too, really. I mean, I know he has 2 Oscars, but obviously he has the veteran status and the lineage, right? So yeah, it definitely hurts his chances. I mean, it would have to be like, it would have had to have been a shift in the race early where it was like Frankenstein for Best Picture as opposed to One Battle and Sinners. If it was Frankenstein versus One Battle, let's just say, or Frankenstein versus Sinners, and those were the 2 movies, then maybe, on the strength of that wave, I'm trying to think if, I mean, I guess Oscar Isaac was in the running for a while as a possible acting nomination from that film. If that had happened, if like Mia Goth had got in, like all this other shit starts piling up for Frankenstein, then that helps the best option in terms of the film, which would obviously be Elordi, you would think. Maybe GDT, because he almost got director. In fact, I predicted him to get director. He got the DGA, missed the BAFTA, and I say, you know what? It's GDT. They love him. I'm keeping him in there. And who did I not have in? Safdie, I think, maybe? I don't think I had Safdie in my 5 predicted. I had Del Toro instead. Little things like that where every branch is voting on that movie because it's in their branch would have helped him. It just, even though it had, what was it, 8 or 9 nominations, even though it had so many nominations, he's young to your point, makes it tough. Nathan is in the house. Nathan, what you got? What you got over there? I'm about to finish a week-long Best Picture nominee binge in the theater. Dude, look at you. I'm kind of jealous about that, actually. How'd you get that? How'd you swing that? Are they re-showing him? Are they re-released him? And I'm about to leave to finish it off with Frankenstein. Nice, dude. That is fucking cinema commitment right there. Everybody give a heart in the chat for Nathan. That's big time shit right there. I love that. That's awesome. If you're a member, throw up Nicole Kidman, the cinema meme for Nicole Kidman. Throw that up for Nathan over there. Yeah, that's good shit, man. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Catherine says, Wound Me was absent from the Globe lineup, and her victory at the BAFTA seems largely driven by hometown support. Yeah, a lot of people have said that, and you could absolutely be true. I don't know. I've got this weird thing, at least when I do predictions, even though I might like think something or, talk to my wife about it or whatever. But when I do predictions, I've just got this thing where like I take out all the like abstract kind of noise that you can't measure, Same thing with like Timothy's controversy with the ballet comments and all that shit, even though I know it really happened, I think the day when voting ended. So it's not like a bunch of people were affected by it. But like all that kind of like noise and stuff, I just don't equate it anymore because I don't know. Like I don't know unless I go poll a bunch of people that voted. I just don't know if that's true or not, Now, to your point, Catherine, excuse me, I predicted her at the BAFTA because of that, in addition to other things, but that was a big reason. But at the same time, that's kind of what all it really takes is one major televised win that goes along with a good speech, that goes along with a strong Oscar nominee. And so far, she's got all those. So I also was telling myself when I was doing my predictions for the Oscars that I have to have Sinners winning an acting award. I have to. And I didn't want to get too roped into recency when it came to Michael B. Jordan. I love him as an actor and I loved him in Sinners, but I also feel like the success that he's having right now is really from that. I mean, that's the like push right now is from what happened at SAG. And it's deserved, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be like, oh, okay, because that's like in the moment. Because I can remember a lot of times, in fact, last year, frankly, with Conclave, but I can remember a lot of times where that last award show, something really cool happens and it doesn't ride its way to the Oscars, even though the feeling in the air is that it's happening. And I'm not saying it couldn't happen for him. I'm just saying I felt this before. So I didn't want to get too, roped into that a little bit. So I'm like, well, where's the other win going to be? Who's it going to be? Of course, it could be Delroy. But that's even a little more far-fetched for me because that would obviously be a shocking, upset with what Sean Penn has. Now, if Sean Penn doesn't have what he has, then yeah. If Sean Penn just had SAG, because that I could have predicted him to win SAG before I even saw the film. I mean, as long as it was an awards player, I mean, that SAG is going to award him for that. But the BAFTA was huge. But let's say that Sean Penn had not won at the BAFTA, and that had been somebody else. Then, Delroy would have been more of a possibility, and I would have felt a little better about predicting him. But right now, Wound Me feels like the one that makes the most sense to me. A lot of people are going to say Michael B. Jordan, but again, would you be saying that if he had not won the SAG award? That's my point. I think a lot of people are saying it because of that, which they could be right, but I mean, it just doesn't make me feel all warm and cozy inside. Predictions wise, I love him. I wouldn't care if he wins. I think it'd be great. And then Catherine's got another one here. Let's see. Still about supporting, but she says Amy, being the sole nominee from her film, could actually work in her favor, allowing support to consolidate around her performance. Yeah, that's true, but that the like bones of your comments absolutely true, and I agree with you. But the historical data is what worries me about that, because unless you're sweeping your category and being a sole nominee, it doesn't usually win. I'm trying to think if it ever has, to be honest with you. I guess maybe I've mentioned this before, but I think maybe Kathy Bates in Misery back in the 90s, which was also horror, by the way. So that's a good one. But But yeah, it's rare unless you're a sweeper, I think. And in fact, Kathy Bates may have been a sweeper that year. I can't remember, but that's the only thing though. But the heart of your comment is true. We just won't know until they open the envelope, because if she does win, it's probably going to be because of what you said there. I also agree with what you said next. You said that she's a veteran with a narrative, and it's an iconic character. I agree with that 100%. Somebody says, what's this? Let's see. I'm excited to see this. Let's see what this says. Ryan Gosling, Best Actor nomination next year. I'm hearing good things about Project Hail Mary. Me too. I'm going to see it. I just got my, let me turn my fan on, guys. Sorry. I'm going to turn it down, though, because it'll be too loud. God, I hope that's not too loud for you guys. I'm sorry, but it's getting hot out here in the garage. Yeah, I've heard good things about that, too. I actually just got my tickets. We're going to see it. I didn't get an advanced screening for that one or anything, but I'm taking my wife for a date night next weekend. We're going to go see it, so I'm excited. She's a Gosling fan, so I don't know why. She's got all this, you know. It's a big deal. I'm just kidding. I know Gosling's better looking, guys. But yeah, we're going to see it next weekend. I'm excited. And I think that could be a player. I think maybe for Gosling, sure, but I think visual effects, right? Adapted screenplay, right? You know, it could be around. We'll see. I can go through some of these real quick. I know I'm way behind, guys. Y'all are the best. Cam, I see what you're going with in shorts. You said All the Empty Rooms, Forever Green, and A Friend of Dorothy. I thought about those. Those are all viable. Absolutely viable. And that's actually a good trio for you to be predicting. It really is. Cam, if you're still here. I just read that. Let's see. Rodney said that he saw... Oh, you saw Scream 7. Why'd you do that, man? Yeah, it was not good. It let me down. Let's see. Girl Who Cried Pearls can win over Butterfly because it is in English. Since 2010, every animated short has been in English or had no spoken language. Yeah, I heard that from my buddy Ryan Castleman, who's been on my channel before, and that's a stat that he turned me onto last year, and that kind of went into my thinking a little bit too of not picking. I think it was Butterfly, and I don't think Butterfly's in English, but I can't remember right now, but I don't think it is. But yeah, Girl Who Cried Pearls. But also, I just used it as a tiebreaker. That was that was the one that just like stood out to me the most. So I'm like, you know, if I was voting in the Academy and I watched all 5 of these, that was the one that stood out to me the most. My favorite one, if I was ranking them, is probably Retirement Plan. But when I'm thinking about like striking like just a feat, you know, was The Girl Who Cried Pearls. They're all phenomenal, really. I mean, Forever Green was probably my least favorite, but they're all really good. Let's see. Catherine says she would love to see Michael B. Jordan or Mora take on Best Actor. It would be awesome, on both counts. Yeah, that's true. Let me show everybody this. Yeah, so my buddy Clayton told me this. He said that the name, and Dr. Robert says it here too, this year the names of the nominees in the technical categories are on the ballot for the first time, which is true. And that's true about cinematography, but guess what else that's true for? Costumes, right? Ruth Carter. She's a legend, you know? I think, what was the stat I saw on Twitter today? If Ruth Carter wins... I might be misquoting this, but I feel like I saw if Ruth Carter wins for Sinners, I think, unless I'm misquoting this, I think she'll be the first black person to win 3 Oscars. Is that right? Somebody fact check me on that. I think that's the stat that I saw today on Twitter. A few small beers. I'm still on number 1. I hope Benicio doesn't tune into this. How you guys feeling, though? I want to know. Let's see. We'll check the poll, too. I have a poll. Make sure you vote on the poll on YouTube. It's at the top of the chat there. So let me see what the poll was saying over there. Wow. Okay, so I have a poll that says, which category is more likely to give us a surprise win? The options are Best Picture, Supporting Actor, or Best Director. The reason I say surprise win in those categories is because regardless of what you're predicting, the favorite based on what has happened Not measuring momentum, not measuring passion, just straight up precursors, straight up what we've seen on the award circuit. All 3 of those should go to one battle. Hear me out. Of course, Sinners or anything else, frankly, could win them. But right now, based on what has happened, those all 3 should be one battle awards. And I'm talking about just on precursor status. So, would it be more likely that one battle would not win picture, that Sean Penn would not win in supporting actor, or that PTA would lose best director? Which one is most likely of those 3? Right now, supporting actor, which will be Sean Penn, is winning the poll. But best picture is close. So vote on that if you guys haven't already. It's at the top of the chat over there on YouTube. And I'll keep going through the chat here. Might have to grab a beer here in a second. Anonymous Grogu says, I wish it was Mora, but you're not holding your breath. Yeah, you know, I mean, just in full disclosure for you, Grogu, it's a long shot, but I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. This year, that's a fractured race. I mean, I predicted Leo. I'll tell you I'll put it to you this way. Mora is really more likely than Leo, and that's who I predicted. So I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse. But it's a fractured race. And whenever we get those, which is rare, honestly, especially in the modern era, it really is a toss-up. So my fear with Mora or best casting, my fear in those categories for The Secret Agent is not enough people saw the film or took the time to watch the film. I mean, that's my main fear with that. But if they did, if I'm wrong, and they did, and it wins international feature, which is what I'm predicting currently, that's all he needs. He needs another victory to show that the support is there for him or for that movie. And then he could. So it's not likely. And you're probably right to say that you wouldn't hold your breath, but you know, it's still in the realm of possibility. I mean, it might be less than 10% chance, but it's possible. I love that movie. Hey, Sunny Bear's in the house. Sorry if I took too long to get to you, Sunny Bear. I love when you show up, though. Channel regular. She says the international body are barely a quarter of the voting body, though, so it's hard to know why they would decide it. I guess I missed what you were in reference to there, but yeah, I do think it's like 25% though, which is a lot more than it used to be. This would be good, actually. This would be good. What if the community on award experts get all the categories right? That'd be good. You want me to pull up my Gold Derby? I can share that with you guys because I don't think I can do you guys know if the award expert website doesn't show you your predictions, right? Only the app. So the community, I'm gonna run through it real quick because that would be a trip. So if the community decides the winners this year on Award Expert, it would currently be One Battle, PTA, Jesse Buckley, Michael B. Jordan, Amy Madigan, Sean Penn. Obviously, the screenplays are Sinners and One Battle. Casting is Sinners. Sentimental value is international. Documentary is The Perfect Neighbor. K-pop for animated. Cinematography and editing for One Battle. The 3 for Frankenstein that we're expecting. Avatar and visual effects. F1 for sound. Sinners for score. And K-pop for song. So you know what? That is all very, very likely. In fact, the only thing among the ones I just read to you that I'm not predicting that the community is lead actor, supporting actress, and international. 3. So actually that makes me a little nervous. But only 3 of the categories are off from what I predicted. Even the shorts are what I predicted except for animated short. 2 out of 3 are the same thing I predicted in the community. Let me pull up my Gold Derby. And we can see what they're saying over there on Gold Derby too. Let me make sure it has me logged in before I share it with you guys. Can you guys hear this? I'm gonna do it real quick. I mean, is it gonna? So I just started the music. I have it on low, but I'm curious if you guys can hear it. I'll turn it off. How many people are watching? 73? I don't want to take my fundage away, but let me know if you guys heard a little sound garden there. All right, let me remove this comment real quick, and then I'll share my screen with you. Let me make sure I'm logged in here. Dude, the one thing about Gold Derby I don't like, though, is that they have these, like, giant ads on their webpage. Like, huge. Okay, so this is me. Let me find my pics here. Yeah, I want you guys to be listening to this with me, but I know I'll get flagged. I may have already with that little 10-second. All right, so my picks. Here we go. Let me pull up my picks. OSCARS. I don't think I need to update them. Although maybe I haven't updated these yet. I think I have, though. All right, let me share this page with you guys. I don't know if these weird ads are going to pop up now that I'm into my picks here, but who knows. Where the hell is it? Does that work? Yeah, there you go. You guys can see it. Okay, so let's look through this here real quick. So this on Gold Derby. These are my predictions, which I think you guys know for the most part. I went Leo and actor, but you see the odds there? So that's probably not going to go well for me. Hey, it's better than Ethan Hawke's. Where's Anthony at? Is he still here? Guys. I mean, you should almost put like $5 on that. Just because of the odds and this. I mean, we know Jesse Buckley's winning that, which is why this is like this. But that's in the danger zone. Kalshi or whoever's doing that, because what if they, like, get crooked or something, Be paying out a lot of money. Okay, so I got Wunmi in supporting. So let's look at do they have the thing on here where you can look at the, like, experts or whatever? You guys might have to tell me how to do that. Let's see, OSCARS. Let's see what the experts are saying. See what I mean about these ads? Look, it's playing this little video down here now. It's probably gonna mess my damn stream up. Let me close this out. My God, why is that so bright? Good God. All right, here we go. Okay, so what do you guys want to see? You guys want to see? Let me look in the YouTube chat. Do you guys want to see experts or combined? I have not looked at this. Or users. Right now, this is combined. Let's look at experts. See if they have anything. I mean, this is crazy to me, though. I mean, yeah, I know he's the front runner, but 81% likelihood seems crazy to me. Man. This is right. This is right. Yep. Yep. I mean, even this is a little lopsided, really. I mean, I'm picking one battle, but I would think more like a 60-40 situation. Let's see what else I got here that might be crazy. I got a couple friends that recently, I saw somebody ask, how do you become an expert? I've got a couple friends that became one this year, and, oh, whoops. They just got an invitation. I didn't get one. I did better than half the people that are on here last year, but I didn't get one. I don't know, maybe next year. We saw these already. I want to see the other categories. Yeah, this website is too, like, you guys got to dial it back a little bit with the ads and stuff. I mean, it's crazy. All right, so we know these. We know these. Here we go. Best casting. 100% of them are predicting Sinners. I mean, I am too, in fairness, but that should give somebody somewhere a pause. I mean, on the SAG Ensemble, right, which this is not an ensemble prize, but yeah, this is the first year for the award, so what else are you going to predict, really? You know, there's other casting awards on the circuit, for sure, but I don't know. That one worries me a little bit, but that's what I have also. And this one's a little bit closer here with these three right here. I do think one. I see Mikey up there. I do think I'll get that for you 1 second. I do think one battle takes that though, but this would be historic for Sinners to win that, and they might, you know, with the name being on there now, like my viewer said a minute ago. Editing one battle. So I didn't really know this. Frankenstein, of course, score. Of course. Poor Diane Warren, guys. What the fuck are we doing to her, man? I got to finish my Diane Warren video. I'm going to get it out this year. This is an upset category. Be careful with this one. Best sound. I mean, I don't understand what's going on here. This is Avatar. I mean, I guess because it's not a Best Picture nominee, it's weak, but that would be an upset. That would probably be literally the biggest upset on the night, honestly, if Avatar lost that. Because we've gotten to a point where, like, we just kind of, like, that's what Avatar's doing, right? They're just leveling up the game for visual effects. That's kind of like what that franchise is known for, right? Yeah, this K-pop, yeah. This category right here, I'll get to your super chats in 1 second. This category right here is, I mean, I don't know. I'm predicting The Perfect Neighbor too. I think Alabama Solution is a dark horse, and I almost did that one too, but I don't want to take too many swings. Almost did though. So yeah, I've got a big swing here because I took The Secret Agent, which not a lot of people are doing. I just saw that Justin and Cole, or I don't know if Cole did. I saw that Justin switched to it, and that kind of made me feel better because when I saw their video a couple days ago, I was like, we're not matching on fucking anything, because they had even picked Sinners in that video with Matt, and I was like, Jesus, what do I do, you know? But at least they changed their international pick. So Butterfly's leading here, which I think it was on Award Expert too. This is wrong for Forever Green. That could win. If you guys are looking for a swing to take and you haven't taken one yet, I would take it on this right here. That could win. This is a very, like, what the best phrase is. Like, family friendly, I guess is the best phrase. It's a very, like, family friendly, cute short. I liked it, but it's like, and it's really good animation. I said it was like a pop-up book brought to life for Evergreen. It's kind of the best way to describe it. Almost like it was a paper cutout 3D art, you know? But it's basically a remake of The Giving Tree, the classic book. I mean, that's not what it is, but I'm saying it's a ripoff of that. But that could win, and they have it at 0. And this, you don't know with the shorts. So I decided what I was going to pick before I saw any of this shit. And I've got The Girl Who Cried Pearls. I'm not changing that. They got 10%. That's fine. But I don't think that in the short categories, at least my philosophy is you don't go with just what everybody's saying, because there's no way that you never get them right. At least all of them, right? You might get 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. So, like, if you don't feel good about Butterfly, let's just say, then just take a swing in that category. And I think Retirement Plan and Forever Green are probably the 2 biggest swings in that category, because not a lot of people are going to be predicting that. So if you do take that swing and then you get it, you're going to have an extra category on your pro side. All the Empty Rooms. You know, this is another one. This one seems a little obvious with this one. That's also what I predicted, because it's Netflix is the big thing. And you could say that here, too, for The Singers. This should be the other way around. The Singers should be, they've been pushing that shit everywhere. And I loved that movie, by the way. Two People is just too good. It is so good. It's literally like, let me know if you've seen it, but Two People, Exchanging Saliva, is like in my top 5 movies of the year. That's how good it was. If it had been a feature-length film, that probably would have been my favorite movie last year. I loved it. Those are all good. So yeah, nothing crazy going on over on Gold Derby, honestly. Kind of boring. But that, I don't know if I should be like nervous about that or what. Let me go back to some of your comments. I know I had a super chat up here. Let's see. Oh, it's my boy Anthony. Let's see what Anthony's got going on over there. One battle in Sinners odds are 90-10. I say 60-40. I get what you're saying, but it's one of those things we don't really know. Unfortunately, they don't tell us what the numbers were when the voting's over. But I just think that momentum piece, it was when voting was open. And that's why I'm like, yeah, they started getting a surge there in the last few days of voting, you know. I don't think it was enough to overtake what one battle had already substantiated, but could it have gotten them up to 35, 40%? Yeah, I think so. Again, I'm guessing. You know, you're guessing, I'm guessing. I mean, we don't fucking know, you know. It'd be cool if they release this shit, you know. Like, put it in, like, a vault or whatever, and, like, 10 years later, they release the results, you know. This is what came in second, and we find out, you know, Kate Hudson came in second. Parsnip, I see your comment. I believe me, I can't forget that if I want to, because everybody's using that as an example when they're predicting Delroy. That's the precedent, which is why they're using that, so I understand that. But, and even mine, Leo, doesn't really have a precedent. So, I mean, I appreciate that they're doing that. But that doesn't really say anything to me, because Sinners is, if anything, Delroy's stronger than Marcia Gay Harden was. Because Sinners has 16 nominations. It could be the Best Picture winner. It's definitely one of the stronger films of the year in terms of nominations, and probably wins too, even if it comes in second there. And she was in Pollock, which, you know, was not, I think it got 4 maybe or 5 nominations, and honestly wasn't well received really. I mean, it was, you know, okay, but it wasn't like, you know, Sinners. So that analogy was always a little loose for me. But also, Marcia Gay Harden was not up against somebody who had a SAG and a BAFTA victory. That's the key right there. So you have to balance what you're weighing the importance against. Because Delroy is stronger than Marcia Gay Harden in terms of the film that he's in and the strength of that movie, Sinners. But he's much weaker when you think of who he's up against, in this case, Sean Penn. Because those two bodies, the cross up with the Academy voters, and those two specifically, is like, they would have had to change, just had a complete change of heart in like 3 days for him to not win. I never like speaking in absolutes when I do awards predictions, and I'm trying really careful not to do that, so I'm only giving you my opinion. This is not me saying anything absolutely 1,000%. But for my mentality, what I believe and what I know from previous, I'll get you in 1 second. Thank you so much for the super chat, is that Sean Penn is not going to lose that tomorrow night based on what he has. There's absolutely no world where he should lose that. If you know the strength of the SAG and the BAFTA, and then you put them together, it's almost impossible for him to lose that. So if it happens, which it could, it's not a 100% chance for Sean Penn. So if it happens, it is a shocking upset. Even though people are predicting it, it's a shocking upset. You know, Marcia Gay Harden was not going against somebody that strong in terms of what they had on the Hall. And then, you know, one battle too, the strength of the film, right? So that's the main difference. Now, could it happen? Of course. Again, I'm not going to speak in absolutes. I'm never going to tell you that, except for maybe Jessie Buckley, an actress, or screenplays. Other than that, I'm not going to tell you anything's definitely happening. But I would be floored if Sean Penn didn't win that tomorrow night, based on what's happened. I'm not even talking about the people or the performances or any of that stuff. Just like based on what's happened so far, I would be shocked. Let's see. Zek in the house. Zek, what do you got, man? What do you got? Will I clap if Wagner wins? Of course, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Brazil, rise up. I love my Brazilians. I love Brazil. I love Brazilian cinema. I would be so happy for that entire country, honestly. But yes, I would be very, very excited if he wins. I don't think there's any situation where I won't be at least somewhat pleased or happy with the results. Obviously, if my predictions come true, and especially in this category, because I predicted Leo when I don't think anybody else is. If somebody else is out there, let me know, because I don't think anybody is. At least that, you know, have a channel or podcast or anything. I think I'm literally the only one. Which, you know, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to change it. That's why I said when I did that, I didn't know that. When I predicted that on Tuesday and I recorded that video, I didn't know that nobody was predicting him. I assumed that it was a shocking prediction, because leading up to that week, I hadn't heard anybody doing it, or, you know, Michael B. Jordan's on such a high, right? So I assumed it was going to be a left field prediction. But when I posted the video, Went to work the next day because when I drive around on a route at work. I go from stop to stop. So when I'm driving around, I'm listening to podcasts and stuff of doing their predictions. Nobody's even mentioning Leo, let alone predicting him. I think I heard somebody today, actually, for like the first time, mention Leo when they were going through their predictions. And I was like, Jesus, finally somebody remembered he was in the category. So I'm cooked. I don't think it's happening. I really don't, but I'm not changing it because I just feel it. I just feel it. I see that name being read, and I just feel like there's too much going on in that category to really know what's going to happen. But I would be happy for Wagner. I just think that would be euphoric if somehow Leo won that, and I saw that happening. Would be crazy. I don't even, because even as I'm sitting here right now, I'm like, it's not going to happen. I'm going to clap for Michael B. Jordan is what I'm thinking to myself, So even somebody that predicted it would be shocked if it happened. Thank you for the super chat, Zach. You're the best, man. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments here and try to pick up where I was, where I left off at. Appreciate you guys being here. What time is it? Almost 11:30. That's not too bad. See, that's me. Rodney, that's me. That's what I was just telling you. Now, well, you phrased it incorrectly because honestly, I don't think he can win. But that's what I was just talking about. So you think I'm crazy. Oscar Race, I saw you saying this on Twitter a few hours ago. Don't. Pencils down, bro. All these changes, like the day of, and I've done that so many times in the past. And I'm just not doing it this year. Because the fact of the matter is we don't know. We just don't know. So, like, whatever you predicted is what you predicted. And what's going to happen here is if you do, and believe me, I know this from experience, is if you do this and one battle wins cinematography like it should, based on what's happened, you're going to go, well, fucking of course it won. Why did I do that? The same thing, thank you for the sub. There's Timmy up there, see him? The same thing happened for me last year with sound because that was Dune's award and I got cute. And I said, well, I'm going out for Timothy. He's not going to be the only win for a Complete Unknown. I have to give it something. They love music biopics, so I changed it. 3 or 4 hours later, guess what won Best Sound? And I went, of course it fucking won Best Sound. It's Dune. Why did I do that? So, obviously do whatever you want. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I'm just saying this never worked out for me. In fact, I can't even remember a time where I changed it and it ended up being what I changed it to. And in most cases, it's what I had initially. Sometimes these things seem so obvious or seem so locked up that you start to question it. And I think a lot of people are doing that this year, actually, because it's a tight race in so many categories, or it seemingly is. We'll find out tomorrow, My advice, not because I think this can't happen, because I do think it can happen, but my advice would be don't change it unless you're like, oh, yeah, I absolutely think this is happening. Then you could change it. But if you're just like, I don't know, maybe, I kind of want it to happen or whatever, don't change it. That's my advice. I didn't know that. I didn't know this, the house that Hulk built. I did not know that. But yeah, the ads and shit are driving me crazy. In fact, it probably looks like I'm on fire when some of these ads pop up, fucking glaring on the screen here. Yeah, Emmy, let's talk this through here. So I think, do I have another super chat? Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't. Okay. So you're right here, Emmy. So if Timothy loses, Marty doesn't win anything, right? Marty Supreme, it won't win anything. So if Timothy loses, it won't win anything. And that goes to what I was saying earlier about Timothy last year, which is ironic. It was him, right? For a Complete Unknown. Because obviously he didn't win. And guess what? A Complete Unknown blanked on, I think, 10 nominations last year. It's a fucking lot. Which, by the way, I predicted like 9 of those. I knew Mangold was going to get nominated. I knew it was going to get in for like I think it was production design or something that nobody had. They just love music biopics. They fucking eat it up. And Mangold, is a veteran too, so I felt good about it. But it walked away empty-handed, and I think the exact same fucking thing is going to happen to him this year, unless he can pull out lead actor. 2 years in a row, because Marty got, 9? And A Complete Unknown got 10, I think. Somebody fact-check me on that. 19 nominations in 2 years with 0 wins from a Timothy-starred film. That's brutal. Like, that might do something to somebody's mental health if you think about it. Especially somebody who's, like, so, into movies and acting. And Courageous, I see you. Channel member. I'm looking at the other screen, though. I'm fucking taking forever to get through the chat over here. So Marty could blank. Probably will blank unless Timmy pulls it out. What else? I mean, Begonia, right? Begonia's not going to get shit. I love Begonia. I'm so glad it showed up nominations-wise. Channel member Tyler is a huge fan of Begonia, and he was trying to get me on that back in August, September, and I was like, nah, I don't know, man. It's going to be too weird, whatever, and then it ended up happening. So good on him for predicting the nominations, but I don't think it's going to win anything. Sentimental Value, that's fucking crazy. I mean, that 10 years ago, especially if that had ended up being an English-speaking film, 10 years ago, that would have been Best Picture, 15 Academy Awards. I mean, it's so Oscar-coded, it's crazy, But yeah, that is so crazy. All right, let's see. I had a super chat up here. Let's see. Zach, what's up? What does F1 winning editing mean for the Best Picture race? I think it would. I mean, nothing really. I don't think it's going to win editing, just so you know. I think it's going to be one battle, especially since it's shown strength in those areas in the precursors. But at the same time, F1 does have enough if it did want to squeak out a win here, and it would tie to the sound winner if F1 wins sound, which I think it's going to. And those two used to go together a lot, sound and editing. They used to tie together a lot, and it started to get more, mismatched and was not as consistent. And now it's maybe it will, maybe it won't, But since F1 got into the Best Picture 10, it's very viable to win both of those, or one or both of those. I don't think it's going to, but to answer your question, if F1 did win editing, which I almost predicted a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about it. I think it would actually help Sinners more if it won editing. Because One Battle really kind of needs that. Because I know I'm predicting Leo, but generally speaking, especially if Sean Penn's in danger, it's not going to have a ton of acting accolades on the night. Now, if I'm right, and if Sean Penn wins, then it will. But I mean, let's just say it doesn't. Then that editing win and some of these other techs like cinematography and stuff are going to be pretty big when you're trying to put the basket together that I always talk about, And I don't think it would do anything you still wouldn't know, but I think that would slightly help Sinners. Because that should be One Battle's award. So if it doesn't win that, then they actively went against really who the front runner was for that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Anthony, what do you want me to say here, man? What do you want me to say here? I'm gonna highlight it here. Because you've told me this before. You need to watch them, man. You need to watch them. It's good shit. My daughter is a short filmmaker. Cinematography and editing, but she does it. She makes them. She's trying to get into the Oscars. She submitted one last year for the Ace Eddie. The Ace Eddie does student awards for short films. Or at least tell me if my daughter gets nominated, you'll watch that one, hopefully. Let me go through this. Look at this. This guy. Oh my God. Oh yeah. You're right about Penelope Cruz with what was that with no precursor? What were we talking about? No precursors, right? For Vicky Cristina. What was the asterisk on that though? Was that the year that Kate Winslet was miscategorized or something like that? I can't remember what the. You're right though. just on paper, but I can't. I feel like there was some kind of asterisk with that. But yeah, that is another comparison there. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying too. Yeah, that was kind of what I was saying too. Sean Penn's just a lot stronger than anything that Harden faced. I mean, frankly, and then on the flip side, Delroy is stronger with the film that he's in. So it's like that wasn't even the case either. So it's a different. I get it. Like if you don't have a precedent, you're kind of like searching for what to compare it to or what to build off of, and work your way backwards. And I mean that's the way I do it too. That's why when I went out for Leo, I was like, really like, what the fuck do I do this? Because I don't really have anything to fucking like. I can't. That's why I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna tell everybody in my video that like I don't do this. There's no way for this to happen. This should not happen, right? But the first time that anything happens, it never happened before, right? And the way the academy is changing, with a lot of other factors that I mentioned in my video, I still, as I'm sitting here right now, don't think it's gonna happen. But I see a world where it could happen. And if it doesn't happen this year with somebody like Leo, I think it will happen someday. And that's my point. One of these days, somebody that's in a really, really strong film that ends up winning Best Picture is going to win out of nowhere with no wins prior. And, but yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier too when it comes to that category specifically. Oh my God. Yeah, Courageous, I see you. You said you're late, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here. I saw your name pop up when I looked over at the other screen. I'm going through some of these comments, see if there's any questions. By the way, could you guys hear that music when I played it earlier? I'll do it again. It's The Cure now. There's no way I'm not getting flagged for this right now. You guys hear that? I wonder if you can hear it because I have the VOD track selected. So tell me if you can hear The Cure playing right now. Just say, yes, I hear it or something in the chat. Oh my God, Tessa Thompson's here? I got to get down to her comment. Christmas Jones is here? Oh my God, I got to scroll down. Yeah, I'm so slow. Let me know if you guys hear that. I don't know if I should mute it though. Okay, she says she doesn't hear music. Okay, all right. No music. Okay, you guys don't hear it. You know what? I bet that's why. Because I have the VOD track selected. Okay, so I can play it. All right, cool. Well, never mind then. I'll research that. Okay, let's see. I guess you mean the original, right? Holy shit, yeah. Good Lord. Maybe I do need to do that. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I need to do that. Yeah, Elizabeth, I'll be into that. Oh my God, look what they're playing now. I know you guys said you can't hear it, but look at the thing, the player down there. Is it a sign or is it just me? It's the Enora track. The greatest day of our lives. Oh my God, that was a moment. Yeah, oh, I see your comment, Sunny Bear. So when I did, that's why I said I'm not doing that shit this year, because what I did with that, just to touch on this one last time, because I'm really pissing myself for doing that, because I would have had 21 out of 23. But the reason I did that is because when I looked at my predictions, in fact, we were on the way home we took my son out of town for his birthday. My wife was driving on the way back, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Brody was the front runner, really, right? Timmy won SAG, and I go, I'm going to go out for Timmy. I think he's going to win this. It's a music biopic. He can get over the hump because they love music biopics there. He did a fucking really great job. He had the SAG win, huge crossover, whatever. So I rationalized to myself that I'm going to pick Timothy to win, which I did. But then I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I don't think he's going to win that if it's the only prize for that movie. So that's why. Yeah, he's in both films, but the best sound I thought was the most likely for A Complete Unknown to upset in, because it did have a sound win. I can't remember which one it was, but it had a sound win in the precursors. And they love music in movies ties to the sound award usually, or a lot of times. So there was a lot of things that were kind of going forward in that category, even though Dune was the front runner. So I said, well, if Timothy's going to win, then it's going to get something else. Maybe it'll get sound. And that was why I changed it. Now, if I had gone with Brody, this is crazy to think about. If I had gone with Brody and not changed my best sound, I would have gotten 22 out of 23 last year. Only one short I would have missed. So don't change them is the whole point. It's the whole point of that story. But that was why, though. It was more so to tie something to Timothy's acting win to make it make sense to myself. Okay, it was 8 nominations. Thank you, Young Sif. Is that right? Young Sif. 9101. A complete unknown got 8. Thank you so much. Zek says Begonia will be a goose egg. I will agree with that. Courageous in the house. Channel member, she said, I didn't realize voters could change their ballot up until the deadline. I wonder how many people changed their vote from Timmy to someone else. We'll never know. Once they submit it, they can't change it, can they? If they can, this is news to me. I did not know that either. I thought once it was submitted, it was in, you know. Oh, it seems kind of unfair, though, because, you know, something like that happens and then everybody goes in and changes their vote. Like, but I didn't know that. I'm excited though. It's been a good season. There's Tessa Thompson. She says she wants to know if she'll get an Oscar one day. You should have been nominated this year, Tessa, over certain people. Jesus, gotta get another beer. I thought Hedda was great, much like Jay Kelly, which didn't, you know, materialize. But when I saw Hedda, you know, the Amazon Prime thing and like MGM just fucking. I think the execs or the marketers for MGM and Searchlight must have gotten together and just said, "How can we fuck all these movies up?" I can't believe that Hedda didn't get anything. Ann Lee got nothing. I really thought Is This Thing On was good. It got nothing. You know, I don't know what the hell they were doing over there. Because Hedda should have been costume design, production design, Tessa Thompson, Nina Haas, right? Hairstyling and makeup. Adapted screenplay. I mean, it could have literally been everywhere if they had pushed it and had a campaign for it. That's a very Oscar-friendly film, at least from the technical side. Sorry, Tessa. I'll keep fighting for you, though. You should have gotten in there. That's right. That's right. Yep. You should be there for Hedda. That's what I was saying, too. Yep. Sally, what's that saying? I'm sorry. Sally, does that say Manila? Oh, Salmonella. I see what you did there. Took me a second. The expanded academy is increasingly making things unpredictable aside from a few expectations. I agree. I agree with that. That's why I said when I do my predictions, I don't really go back more than 10 years. I mean, eventually I will when the years pile up, but right now, that's it. So what do you say, like Moonlight, Spotlight, Moonlight? What was that, 2016, 17? Like that kind of era? But, I mean, it's just so, that's exciting though. You know, that's like when they introduced the Best Casting Award, like we don't fucking know what to predict for that, you know? But I like that. I like that. And I like how the tides are changing. It makes it unpredictable, which makes it fun. Because, you know, like the Oppenheimer year, you know, I mean, everybody knew what the hell was going to happen. And I mean, it's a great movie and it was well deserved. But at the same time, it's like, could you imagine if the Oppenheimer year was this year when the Oscars were on March 15th? I mean, what the hell would I be talking about on my channel for the last like month, you know? I mean, at least it's exciting and there's stuff to cover and, you know, like different things in the race, you know, that switch it up. But people are just kind of like bored and tired, you know, like give out these fucking awards, please. You know, now I know we have the Olympics this year, you know, but what, I don't understand why it's taking so long. I really don't. Stay here. Sorry. But yeah, it is changing big time. Thank you for telling me you guys didn't hear the music. I think that must be what it means to have the VOD track. So I think that means if I was recording this, the music would be in it, but you can't hear it live. Does that make sense? That way it's not coming through YouTube, so they're not flagging the video. I think that's what it means, but I need to research it a little more. Because I don't want to get, demonetized or whatever, but I also didn't know what that meant. But I guess that's what it means. I'll see some new names here. I'll click on them. Thank you so much, 5 stars. I love your shirt. This is the horror letterbox tee that I've had for a couple years now. But yeah, it's my jam. I got a hoodie too, but the hoodie one's not as exciting. It's just the logo up here. But I rock that one sometimes too. I'm a big fan of Letterboxd. I'm a patron of theirs. I love what they do over there. I really do. Oh my God. Mark Hamill or Mark something. Come on, bro. Somebody put up a super chat so we can see Mikey, or put up the little channel members. Hook him up. Come on, dog. Let me get back up. Let me get over here to let me find her for you. Here we go. Here we go. Here she comes. There she is. It's Mikey. Come on, man. I respect your opinion. I loved Denora. It was one of my favorites last year for sure. But I get it. Not everybody's going to love what I love. It's fine. No problem. I see this. That's fine. Everybody said they couldn't hear it, so I think I figured that out anyway. So Clayton said they can't change it once a minute. I mean, that's what I thought, but honestly, I had never looked into that, so I didn't know. It seems like that would be the case. I mean, when you vote a political office and then, somebody has a sex scandal or something, it's not like you go, oh, never mind, I don't want to vote for you anymore. I mean, you might think that, but I don't think you can change your vote. Let's see, I got a question here. Oh, wait a minute, I already did that one. Right here. Does this work? All right, favorite, The House That Hulk Built. Favorite Best Actor performance of the last 25 years. That is not DDL. That's a good one. Let's see. I should do Wikipedia for this, actually. It'd be easier, right? Oh, I can share it with you guys. Let me get there first, though. Lead actor, winners. Bro. It's 2026, List of actors with Academy Award nominations. That's not what I want. Academy Award. It's funny when you do these searches, sometimes you have to figure out how they phrase things so that you can just type in the search. Because now I found it. All right, here, let me share this with you guys. Hang on one second. Does that work? Let's see here. Here's Brody, who crushed my dreams last year. All right, so it's not going to be from the 30s and 40s. I can assure you that. No offense, I just don't know any of those well enough. Let's get up to here. Ooh. Yeah, Gene Hackman is a good one. Let's see. Some good ones in the 70s, too. You said winner, right? Yeah, favorite Best Actor performance. So let's see. Getting into the 80s here. Nothing that really jumps out. I did love Paul Newman in this, though. I doubt that's my favorite, though. Let me keep looking. Daniel Day-Lewis again there. Ooh, it's probably got to be this one, even though it's a supporting performance. Talk about fucking category for all. Was he in that movie 12 minutes or something like that? That's a good one for me. So hold on to Anthony Hopkins. Hold on to Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. That's a good one for me. That was right in my movie cinephile status was beginning. Jack Nicholson should have won for A Few Good Men. That's still bullshit to me. I mean, definitely not Spacey. I did love American Beauty at the time, but definitely not Spacey. Denzel's good for Training Day. So what did I say? I had Anthony Hopkins and Tom Hanks. Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman's good too for Capote. No, no. Maybe. I mean, I love this win, but not for this movie. He should have already had like 2 Oscars by the time this movie came out. I did like the movie. I just don't think it was his best Oscar-worthy performance. Not this one. All right? What the fuck are we doing? Guys. I mean, I know that was like not the strongest category, but that should be Bradley Cooper's. Does anybody else think that that's crazy that Rami Malek won over Bradley Cooper that year, or is it just me? I mean, literally, I'm asking. I mean, uh, that makes me mad just even looking at it. That was good for The Father. Yeah, Cillian Murphy was good too. So I would say Anthony Hopkins for The Silence of the Lambs. Is that what you said? Is that what you asked me? And Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. Oh, but you said last 25 years, though. These are not great between me and you. I mean, I guess Denzel or Philip Seymour Hoffman, probably. I think of the last 25 years, yeah, of the last 25 years, I would probably say Denzel for Training Day, right? Uh, Here, 2001, or Philip Seymour Hoffman for Capote. That's what I would say of the last 25 years. But looking at those lead actor winners, I'm not trying to be mean because I do love a lot of those dudes, but not the greatest bunch, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion there. Um, let's see. Go through some of these. I'm going to be wrapping up soon. I was going to go till about midnight. See how many questions you guys have. I don't think I have any more. Not have any more super chats. See what you guys got going on here. Christmas Jones in the house. She says, do you watch the red carpet before the ceremony? I love to see what everyone wears and the fun interviews. I really hope Sean Penn shows. Me too on that last part. I'm going to do a thing with my members before on the red carpet. So I'll have a little pregame member stream and watch the red carpet. But I mean, to answer your question, not really unless I'm like, don't have anything else going on. I usually watch the highlights of that stuff, you know? Like I'll watch people's videos and like the wrap up or whatever, who was the best dressed and all that shit like after. But this year I'm going to do a little members thing beforehand and do a stream of when they're doing the red carpet show on YouTube and stuff. But not really. Like last year we were out of town for my son's birthday, so I didn't like, rush to watch the red carpet thing. But if I'm not doing anything, I'll check it out. Yeah. I get excited to see, what people are wearing and who's coming and going and all that stuff. And if Sean Penn's there, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Ooh. Hey. I love it. I love it. That would be a really, really cool thing. I got to agree with you on that. That would be awesome. I agree with this Parsnip. Yeah, that was a big snub for me too. I agree with you on that. I'm going to work on a video for snubs of the century. I haven't done that yet, but that's got to be one of them. I mean, I'm just off the top of my head, but I think it probably would be. Yeah. I fixed that. I was going through the whole damn thing, but yeah, I figured that out. Sorry. I agree with F. Murray Abraham and Amadeus was incredible. Catherine, I see your comment on that. Let's see. Where can people watch the Oscars if you don't have cable or Hulu or YouTube Live? ABC. Do you have like rabbit ears or like an antenna? I mean, it's on ABC. So if you have regular TV, you can watch it that way. I don't know if you guys know about the VPNs or whatever, but I paid for VPN too, so you can get like protected access to, like, if you had somebody else's login or something like that, and you could have your VPN on and use your friend's login, they wouldn't know that you weren't your friend, basically. I don't know if I should be telling you guys that, but it's a thing that you can do. And the one I got was not very expensive at all. It's like an annual fee, but it wasn't too bad. But aside from ABC, to answer your question, aside from ABC and Hulu, I don't really know. Here, I'll search it real quick. But I don't think you can, honestly. Look at the screen. Why is it so bright? I turn on the dark mode. If not on Hulu. So you could get you know what you should do, Courageous? You should get a free subscription. Because you can get you can do a free trial of Fubo, it says on here. Here, I'll put it over in the chat. Fubo TV, and you can do, well, Hulu, obviously. And I think they used to have a 7-day trial to do YouTube TV. I don't know if they still do, but you can maybe do that as well. But you could do a free trial and then cancel it. Also, it's saying if you have, you could do the ABC app and watch it like via their website as long as you have TV credentials. So I don't know if you know somebody that has cable or DirecTV or something like that, and they could give you their credentials maybe. But maybe try the Fubo or the YouTube TV free trial for like 7 days and then just cancel it after the show. I've done that before for other stuff. I did that last year for the BAFTAs, and then I canceled the BritBox thing, and they still charge me, and they charge you for a year. And I was on the online chat with their customer service for like an hour, and I was like, I'm not doing that. That was actually one of the reasons why I got the VPN I was telling you guys about. Because I was like, I'm not doing that shit again. It was a nightmare. I hope you get to watch it though, Courage. That sucks. All right, I'm gonna scroll through these real quick. I'll do like a little speed round here. I'm gonna wrap it up. See if you guys have any last minute questions here before I wrap up. We're right at midnight, which is what I was gonna do tonight. I do want to give a little outro message too, to just let everybody know, keep positivity alive. You know what I mean? I see some of your comments about some of these performances, and I agree. I also wish that Heath Ledger had won for Brokeback. I agree. Obviously, Best Picture, I think, as well that year, but it did not. I would have loved that. And then I saw somebody mention the what's up? It's my dude here, Hannah Cass. What's up, brother? I'm gonna come on your thing tomorrow, by the way. I meant to tell you that, Christian. I saw your thing about coming on tomorrow when you do your stream. I'll pop in there and give you some knowledge, brother. Everybody say what's up to Christian over there. Somebody was talking about Jeff Bridges too, but I saw that too. I agree. When Oscar, oh yes, I think so. Yes, they're going to use ads, obviously, just like any other YouTube video. But I'm actually really excited about the YouTube merger or taking over the Oscars, like big time, because like when you guys were did you guys watch the SAGs on Netflix? Or I'm so sorry. Hold on. The Actor Awards. Did you guys watch the Actor Awards? On Netflix, they were like cussing, right? Like sex jokes, like all this shit. And I was like, let's fucking go, dude. So I'm like really excited for it to be on YouTube. But yes, it will be. My understanding is that it will be free. You'll just have to watch ads, unless you have YouTube Premium. But yeah, it'll be free. So I think I'm really excited about that. I think that speaks to kind of like what one of the viewers said earlier too. That kind of speaks to the changing of the tide a little bit, right? Things are changing. And I love that the Oscars kind of picked up on that. They're going to be 100 years old soon. That's about how I feel. But they picked up on that. We got to do something, they got to do stuff. They got to stay relevant, So I love it. But I think to answer your question, it will be free. Man, I wish you guys could hear this music, though. I really do. I got to figure out how to work that. Rodney, I agree with you here. This is the statement of the night right there. It'll be something. It'll be an event that goes down. That's for sure. Hannah, what you got? Hannah, are you sticking with Sinners with all your stuff? I didn't watch your video yet. I was telling these guys I did my predictions. I locked them in, and I'm not making any changes. So I didn't want to like start watching a bunch of people's explanations, and I'll be like, I got to fucking change all this. So I'm not going to. So I'm curious if you're still rolling with Sinners, because I know you were hardcore Sinners when we spoke, and I wonder if you're sticking that way. I know a lot of people kind of jump ship to go over there because of the wave, the momentum wave right now. I'm wondering where Hannah's at on that. Yeah, I agree with you on this one. Got to get it over there, man. Got to get over. There's gonna be good stuff. This is probably for Hannah right here, right? I think it's Talking Heads right now. Courageous. I see your comment, but you guys can't hear it, right? I have it on, but I don't think I have the setting on VOD track, so I don't think it's playing for you guys. But I think it was, or I'm sorry, that was the house that Hulk built. Shit, I don't remember if it was Incubus before this or not, but right now it's Talking Heads, and it's fucking great. Psycho Killer. Okay, let's see what Hannah's got going on here. So he says, I'm not. Wow, really? This is news. This is news for me, because I literally thought you would be the first person in line to put that shit in Best Picture. I know some people are, which, hey, obviously you agree with me, but still, it could happen. But he says he's not predicting a Best Picture, but it is literally number 2 in every category, right? Which worries me. It's going to win some of those. You know that, right? It's going to win at least 1 or 2 of those. Like, it would be the craziest shit if you and I or whoever had Sinners in like 10 categories at number 2 and it didn't win at least 1 or 2 of those. Like, you're telling me you can't get just enough votes to overthrow somebody in those categories? I think it will. So I think the most likely ones are probably sound. You know, Ruth E. Carter's name is on the ballot this year for costume design. I mean, that could be enough right there for costumes. Maybe Frankenstein's not as dominant as we think it is in those 3 categories. I mean, I think it is. I predicted it, but still. You know, the world is predicting it. The entire world is predicting Frankenstein to win those 3 categories. Tech categories. That should worry some people. It does. It worries me. I think it's going to lose one of them. I don't think it's going to win all 3. But I just don't know which one to predict against. I'm not going to fuck up my predictions and just pick the one, and then it's going to win the other 2, but I picked the wrong one. But I think it's going to lose one of the 3 that it's the favorite for. And probably to Sinners. You know, makeup, maybe. Costumes is probably most likely, in my opinion, because of Ruthie Carter. Song is a possibility. Less likely, but, you know, it's probably number 2 in song, right? So I'm with you, Hannah. I think that what you're saying on the screen is accurate, but I also think that even though we can't really, that's not something you can predict, I just don't think it's going to end up as being the number 2 at the end of the night. I think it's kind of going in as the number 2 in a ton of categories, and I agree with you. But there's no way it's going to end that way. It's going to win something that it's not supposed to, and I'm putting that in air quotes. I just don't know what it would be. What? Let's see. Sunny Bear says, man, you guys are missing this fucking Go West song from the Pretty Woman soundtrack right now. Holy shit. Okay, sorry. Sinners is likely going to pull an Everything Everywhere and flip a lot of the categories it didn't get at BAFTA. Yeah. You know, I was surprised that Sinners, if you ask me, Sinners overperformed at BAFTA. And I think I told Hannah that when I went on a show a few weeks ago. But, I mean, you know, if you think about it, a horror vampire film, pretty American-centric in terms of its narrative. All American players. I mean, it's got Wumi Masaki in it. Delroy's from, I think, has British ties as well. But, I mean, generally speaking, that's like an American movie, you know? So I knew it was going to show up there, like original screenplay and some other stuff. But I didn't think, you know, I thought it overperformed, if you ask me. I know, you know, Delroy didn't get in there and some other stuff, but They don't have song there, so that wasn't something you could say was a miss, but they still performed the song there. So I mean, it was present, and I think it did really well with that body, to be honest, despite the wins or the lack of wins, I guess. Uh oh, uh oh, my phone's at 3%. Why not throw out some Oscar predictions, dude? Mine are out, Elizabeth. I went fucking crazy. I should literally be doing this stream in a straitjacket. I mean, mine are out there. In fact, what's on Award Expert is what I put on Tuesday, and I haven't touched it, or I think Wednesday, and I haven't touched it. I'm not changing it. It be what it be. I'm probably going to miss half of them because I watched some other people's videos, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm cooked. You know, I mean, I might get Sean Penn, and that's probably going to be it in the acting categories. So I went crazy, you know. I kept Wound Me in for supporting actress as my center's. That's my center's acting win. Okay. I did keep Sean Penn, which is probably the one that I'm closest to getting. I picked, Jessie Buckley, obviously. That's an obvious, so I picked her. And I have Leo for lead actor. I'm the only person in the world that has Leo. Hannah, have you heard anybody else predicting that? Haven't found one person. I haven't even heard anybody fucking mention him when they're talking about the lead actors' segments of their video. So, remember me, guys. Like Coco, you know, remember me if Leo fucking wins that. You know, it be what it be. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I already predicted it, so fuck it. I'm in. Got System of a Down on here now. Dude, this playlist is fucking going off. I got to figure out how to get this. I got to figure out how to get this audio for you guys next time. Even though I'll get copyright strike, but whatever. Let's see what my man's saying here. Makeup is locked because they have the most makeup, not necessarily the best. Costumes wouldn't shock me. Netflix costume design always looks more sterile than it should. Yeah. You know, GDT is a master, and my boy Fuji came on my channel a while ago, and we shared this sentiment, or he shared this sentiment with me. That's not the best looking Del Toro film. Sorry. I mean, it's just not. You know, I don't know if it's because of Netflix or whatever. It just looks more like, it's hard to explain. It's like it's a little too like pristine, kind of, if that makes sense. I know that sounds weird, but it just doesn't match with what I'm used to from Del Toro, with Pan's Labyrinth and even Nightmare Alley that got in, right, to a lot of categories. It had more of a like rugged, kind of like unpolished feel to it while still being beautiful, you know? And Frankenstein, I think, is really good in a lot of those categories, but it's not the best that we've seen from Guillermo del Toro, in my opinion. And I don't know how many other people might share that psychology, and they might vote that way. And if they do, I think Sinners is the next runner-up to benefit in a lot of those categories. You know, I mean, cinematography is up in the air. You could say maybe Train Dreams in the mix there, but I think Sinners is number 2 to 1 battle there. That could be a possibility to overthrow that category. And then you have the 3 that Frankenstein's in. I think it's only going to win 2 of those, but I can't tell you which one it's going to lose right now because I really don't know. But you can't make this a prediction because there's not an app to put this in. But of the 3 that we think it's going to win, Frankenstein, production design, costumes, and makeup, it's going to lose one of those. That's my prediction. I just don't know which one. So I'm not going to pick one because I don't know which one to pick. But I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to be surprised in one of those tech categories. To your point, WW, I do think costumes makes the most sense. I mean, it's great costuming in the film, especially like with Smoke and Stack and the suits and, you know, throwback. Great job. So I'm not saying it's unworthy, but also it would be a lot would lend to Ruthie Carter's name there too. And did you guys fact check me on that stat, by the way? I'm going to Google it real quick. But I think Ruth Carter would be the first. I feel like I'm quoting this wrong, but I think she would be the first black person to win 3 Oscars. I think. How many? She has 2, right? Oh, somebody to fact check me on that. I feel like I saw that stat and I was like, oh, that'd be really fucking cool. I don't know if Google's going to even know what I'm asking here. So Google says, if Ruthie Carter wins the Oscar this year for Best Costume Design for Sinners, she will become the first black person to win 3 competitive Oscars. She already holds the record as the first black woman to win multiple Oscars from her wins in 2019 and 2023. She's also, I think I knew this though, but she's also the most nominated black woman in history already. Yeah. I'm just reading through this here. She's currently tied or ahead of other notable black creatives such as Viola Davis, Spike Lee, Morgan Freeman, and she's right behind Denzel Washington and Quincy Jones. So I'm just me in my garage, and I knew that. So I can tell you a lot of Academy voters know that too. Frankenstein's not going to win all 3, guys. I'm just telling you. Or at least I suspect that they're going to lose at least one of those. Could be costumes. Could be Ruthie Carter. Don't change your predictions because of me. I told you I don't want you changing them, especially 24 hours before. Don't do that shit. But if you're looking for a swing to take, it could be a swing. Sound is another big swing. Is F1 going to blank maybe? Maybe F1 blanks and that Sinners gets that, right? The problem is, like what Hannah was saying earlier, I don't know if he's still here, but he was saying he's not going for Sinners in Best Picture. So the problem is, if you do want to take those swings and you do think that stuff is feasible and viable and you start doing it, then you go, well, shit, it is going to win Best Picture. You know what I mean? So that's why I start when I do my predictions. I don't know if Hannah follows this procedure, but when I sit down to go, okay, I'm going to do my fucking predictions. The nominations are different, but for the winners, I go picture director. What am I picking for picture and director? Before I even think about anything else. And in this year, for example, I knew I was going to pick One Battle in PTA. That's what I thought was going to win those 2 categories. So then I have that on paper, if you will, or locked in, and I work my way back from that. And then I go, okay. And then when I get done, I look at it, and does it make sense? And then you start kind of changing it like a puzzle, Like if the puzzle's not fit here, you got to move it around and find out where it fits, right? You have to do that. You can't look at a category, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know that are here, but you can't look at a category and go, Michael B. Jordan's going to win that. He's the best actor. You can say that, and he might win that, but why? How's he going to win that? Because there's 24 categories, right? And at least 10 of them or so are tied to that win. I mean, really, or the Sinner's success, right? But I start with picture because if you feel really good about something winning Best Picture, and especially if picture and director are tied together, which they were for me this year, that has to make sense to me. Right now, I have One Battle winning 7 Oscars. They have an acting prize with Sean Penn. In my case, they have 2, but realistically, they have 1 acting prize, right? You got to, so they got the acting prize, they got editing, and this is my predictions. I mean, they have screenplay already, which is a gimme. That's all they need, really. I mean, really, they just need screenplay, director, and they're in for Best Picture. That's really all they technically need. But the problem with it this year is that they're up against Sinners, which is the strongest number 2 we've ever seen. And I'm not trying to. That's not hyperbole. I cannot remember in the modern era, at least. I've been covering the Oscars since like the mid '90s on a pretty regular basis. I cannot remember in 25 plus years a second film in the running for Best Picture that was as strong as Sinners is this year. If there is one, throw it in the chat. I'm going to go back to the chat before I leave tonight. But I can't. I mean, that's why everybody thinks Sinners could win, because it's so strong, especially right now at this moment. Man. But one of the reasons I didn't change is because I've been burned on that exact same feeling so many times. Something hits, and I'm like, that feels good. That feels good. It's something different, something new. Everybody's excited about it. Woo! But I've jokingly said in jest in the past, recently, that the Academy, stats or whatever, almost like clockwork, you can count on the Academy not doing the cool thing. Almost always. Now, of course they do. Parasite, Moonlight, even technically really last year with Nora, although that was kind of a front runner after the Guild weekend. So, I mean, they do, but it's like few and far between. They just don't. how cool would it be in the zeitgeist and popular culture and for history with stuff like Ruthie Carter and all this shit? First black director ever in 98 years, Ryan Coogler. Now look, PTA is overdue. I picked him to win director. Do you think I'm going to be mad if Ryan Coogler wins that? No, not at all. What a historic fucking, like, doves flying out of the fucking shot. It'd be great. But it's like the cooler a win is, or looks like it would be, the less likely the Oscars would do it. In my head, that's what I think. Am I cynical? Yes. Am I pessimistic? Yes. They've burned me a million times. So that's another reason why I didn't flip to Sinners, because I'm like, this is not something the Academy would do normally. If they do it, I just said do. If they do it, it's a parasite. That's what that is. Which is great, but I mean, I can't predict that, That's just my philosophy. And I know a lot of people are, and that's great. I love them for it. Do it, do what feels right. Let's see if you guys got anything else over there. What else you guys got? Yeah, I saw this getting floated around a little bit too. Disruptive. And Ethan Hawke win. He's got to get his, though. I don't think it's going to be this year just because Blue Moon's too weak, It got in for screenplay. When that happened on nominations morning, I don't know if you guys who saw my reaction to that when I was watching it, but I thought it was going to get into picture when it got that. I had Jesse Plemons in that spot because I knew Begonia was getting into picture, and Begonia was stronger, right? Got more nominations. So I just went with a stronger film. And Plemons was really fucking good in that movie. He's another one that needs his flowers. But I thought Ethan Hawke was going to miss because of Plemons and because of Begonia being stronger. So when I saw when I saw Blue Moon got into screenplay, I'm like, well, Hawke's in. And then I was like, and if Hawke gets in, it's in Best Picture. That's what I thought in the moment. If that had happened and it had gotten into Best Picture, then yes, he would absolutely have a shot. But I think he's number 5 right now. Just, Blue Moon's just too weak. I mean, really is what it comes down to. Him winning would be the unthinkable, but would also tell me that everybody was just like, you know what? I fucking love Ethan Hawke enough of this. But 10,000 plus people aren't, how many people are going to do that? Maybe 1,000, maybe. But that would be really cool, and I can't wait till he does win. He should have won for fucking First Reformed. What are we doing, guys? I mean, that's what should have happened. And it's just like Kate Hudson. She should have won for Almost Famous. I've always said that if she had won for Almost Famous in 2000, I think it was 2000 or 2001, she should have won for Almost Famous back then. She's not going to be able to top that. That is a career-defining Mount Rushmore performance. Penny Lane and Almost Famous. Just so you guys fucking know. She should have won that. If she had won that, we wouldn't have these bullshit Song Sung Blue nominations because they're trying to make it up to her. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, if you look at the performance in Almost Famous and you look at the performance in Song Sung Blue, even though I liked it, you look at those two, I mean, it's like, I love her too, and Ethan Hawke, and a lot of these actors, they need it, and it's like, man, we just the Academy let some of these slip by, and then you just go, when's it going to happen again? That's what you wonder. Yeah, so I see you guys are just confirming the Ruth Carter stat there. That would be really cool. Oh, I didn't know that, Christian. I didn't know. I'm reading the comments. I didn't know that she presented. I wonder if maybe I did know that and I just forgot, but that's cool. I mean, they love her. I can't do it with this software, I don't think, Hannah. I'm trying to think if I can, actually. I know how to get you on here, but I don't know if your audio would work. Actually, it might. Do you want me to try it? Are you still there? I can try to get you on here. Then you can yell at me about, although I think we're lining up on a lot of stuff now, so. Let me know if you're still there. I can try it. I don't know if it'll work, though, but I can give it a shot. Let me see what Parsnip says here. Cinematography has the first woman who could win for Sinners. Yep. Yeah. I Parsnip, I had Sinners winning cinematography until the week of the BAFTAs. I don't know what I mean. I kind of know what happened, but it like literally like fell off a cliff. And I was like, it's going to win cinematography, and actually was factoring that into kind of like the overall picture with its battle against One Battle. But the BSC and the BAFTA were in the same week. It lost both. Okay. The BSC specifically has a really good crossover to the cinematography winner of the Oscars. And the ASC has an even better one. And it had both of them. One Battle did, I mean. And then the BAFTA in addition to that. So I was like, well, fuck, never mind. And then I started seeing all these reports about various cinematographers in the industry. You know, Clayton and a couple other friends I have that work in the industry talk to people and stuff. And they're like, they didn't like the darkness and there's too many shadows and all this shit. And first of all, I didn't until I read that, I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, well, this is supposed to be, what the fuck are they talking? It's like at night in the fucking juke joint in the 30s. I mean, what are we doing? It's lit by fucking candles. You know what I mean? Like, of course. So I thought it was beautiful. I loved it, and none of that made sense to me. But I guess there was this like narrative going around town that they just didn't think it looked that great, which is a shame because I thought it was awesome. But that's to answer your question there. That was weird. I do still think there's a chance for her though, and I'm kind of pulling for her honestly, even though I didn't predict it. That would be really cool. Some of these stats we got to break, man. You know, you're gonna tell me in 98 years there hasn't been a woman DP that could win that award? I mean, you know, I don't know every single DP that's ever been nominated or worked on a film, but like that, I have a hard time believing that. Okay, you're here. Let me see. If you have audio output capture, you should be able to. Yeah, but I have to add you as a source, right? So I'm reading this real quick. Let me think. I would have to add you as a source though, but from what? I can bring you into my video call software and then share that. Oh, you sent me a Discord. Okay, I'll check that. Oh, you mean through Discord? Okay, I get you. Now I have to open Discord. Give me a second. I'd be happy to do it though. I just got to remember how to fucking. Because when I went on your show, when I went on Christian's show, he had me go on Discord for to record that episode, and I don't use it anymore. And I had to like run an update. I had to remember my password, but I just did that recently because I was on the show with you. So, well, it says February 17th, so that's probably when we did that, I guess. Let me see if I can get this to come up here, and then I'll see if I have. I wonder if you'll be able to hear my music, Christian, if you get on here. God, I have messages on my text, and I'm just afraid there's going to be my wife yelling at me, guys. Should I look at it? All right, let's see. No, I don't want nitro. Christian Hannah is being a goofy goober. Okay. So if I do a... Christian, are you still on there? So let me see. So how do I do a... So do a voice call with me real quick, and then I'll share it on... I'll add it as a source, I guess. Let me see. Let me make this smaller. So I can do this real quick. Because I can just, yeah, here he comes. Are you there? You can hear me? Okay, so let me add you as a source. Because they're not going to be able to hear you, right? Unless, no, they're not going to be able to hear you. Oh, you know what? Let me go to the other thing where I share my Chrome then. Hang on. Well, no, because you're not on Chrome. But let me just add a source. Hang on one second. I think I can just add a source. Let me copy this. Viewers, give me a second. I'm going to figure all this out, I think, in real time. All right, so that's that. And then let me add a layer. They call it layers, but okay. I'll do is display capture. That's you, right? Okay, now hold on. Let me do. All right, so say something. Can you guys hear him? I'm gonna yeah, let me know if he can hear you, but I want to make sure the audio's on it too. Yeah, let me go in and make sure there's an audio capture for it. Hang on one second.
D28. Hello.
So now I can see your levels now, so hopefully they can hear you now.
Yep, I can hear me.
And what about
all right?
Now?
I can hear myself.
All right, cool. All right, so you're in there. You don't want to be seen, though, huh?
I don't mind being seen, but the problem is I have so many things plugged in right now to where I can't, because I can't use the camera, I can't use like my other webcam because I have my controller done to that.
That's
so
all
it's like it's not. Yeah, but yeah, like it's the same basic thing that's going on my channel right now. They can hear you, they can't see you. But hello.
Okay. Well,
hello, chat.
Hanacast has joined the call here. So you said you're off. You said you're off centers, which really surprised me when you said that. I thought you were going to keep it in Best Picture. What made you jump ship there? Come over to the.
Well, the thing is, I technically have always kept it in Best Picture. I just been saying I want it to be to win Best Picture, because it's like I don't like it losing PGA wasn't great, but at the same time, like voting ended a month before PGA even happened, so I just don't know if I genuinely don't know what that says of what PGA is doing right now. I just don't know what it's saying, because it's like we don't know how it would have happened if voting happened closer to when SAG voting happened.
Right, that's true.
But again, like I said, I have Sinners at number 2 in every single category where I have it not winning, because something is happening. I feel like something is happening. I just can't call it yet. Even something like visual effects, I am predicting Avatar, but look, they do like it. I can, like, if they just want to go with their favorite film in the category, it's right there. It's just so hard to call.
Yeah, that's what. Did you hear what I was saying earlier? I think it's gonna. I think Frankenstein's gonna lose one of those two, or one of those three. I think.
Maybe, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a chance that F1 could lose sound, or even K-pop Demon Hunter's losing song. But again, like, there's so many things where I feel like something could happen, but I just can't call it. I can't call something weird happening, because like it's just gonna come out of nowhere. I would have never called All Quiet on the Western Front winning production design, or Nora winning editing, which the latter of which may be depressed, but still.
I just finalized that poll over there, guys. Look how close that was on YouTube. So, of the categories tomorrow to give us a surprise, most people barely think supporting actor 48%, best picture 45%, but a lot of people think PTA's got it locked in for director. So
the thing is, what were you about to say?
I was say, would you agree with that? You think the biggest surprise, at least of those three categories, would be Penn losing, or the most likely surprise, I guess?
I think the more likely surprise would be Best Picture, because I already have Sinners predicted to win 2 acting Oscars, and so I feel like all it would really need is to pick up like a tech or two, and I'd be thinking, oh, is this actually happening? But with supporting actor, initially I was just never gonna think, okay, there's no, I was never gonna think Delroy Lindo was ever seriously going to win anything, or win the Oscar. It's like, no. But people have been making good arguments that, he has been the one consistently giving speeches, he has been on stage and in the limelight, and it's like, I'm kind of like maybe he is number two. I mean, I'm not going against Sean Penn. I mean, he has BAFTA and SAG. I mean, that's a
Right.
pretty good combo to have. But I don't know, Delroy Lindo, like I could see him being an upset.
So I haven't watched a lot of predictions yet. So I haven't seen yours, but I don't know if you know. So my No Guts No Glory is Leo for lead actor. Which one do you think is your biggest, like, this is probably not going to happen, but I predicted it, or did you just kind of go safe?
I'm playing it safe because I want to be. When it comes to predicting, I try to be right.
Mm,
Like I just don't like how because like I'm just too scared. Like here's the thing. If here's the way how I'm viewing me predicting Sinners to lose Best Picture. I'd rather be wrong and be happily surprised than be wrong and about it winning and be depressed.
yeah,
So
yeah. My thing with lead actors, I was just like racking my brain over that category, and I'm like, I don't fucking know who's gonna win. And I was like thinking to myself that I just saw, like, I had like this vision of like Timothy and MBJ kind of like battling for the votes, and then Leo's just sitting right there, you know?
mm,
And I don't know. I mean, it's far fetched, and I don't really think it's going to happen, honestly, between me and you, but I also don't really know who to predict. So, who did you go with in that category? You went with MBJ?
yeah, because he's the only one with an industry precursor, and he's the only
Yeah.
option that makes sense to me right now.
Yeah, that does make
Like
sense.
and people are saying, well, you don't know who is number two at BAFTA, but it's like it doesn't matter who's number two at BAFTA. He still lost. Timmy still
Hmm.
lost. Like
Hmm.
that's the big problem.
Right, right. His loss was more impactful than whoever number two was. Yeah, no, 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 I know. Yeah, I think I can't remember who it was I was talking to, but somebody was like, they just actively went against the options that they had to even have RMIO win to begin with, which is kind of like more telling than who ended up winning, you know? So I get that argument. I just don't know what to fucking do in that category. But I told myself this year, I'm not changing anything. I don't know about you, but every year I change stuff in the last like day or two, and it never works out. So I'm just like, I'm just leaving it.
I
Plus,
do try. Like, what were you about to say?
I would say, plus I would probably go with Timothy anyway, and he probably would lose to MBJ anyway. So it's like, I'm just trade one loser for another loser. What's the point, you know?
Like for me, I don't mind making last minute predictions, but however, the thing, because like, it's just like. It's one of those things I had to think about. And also, I'm going to be completely honest. I was this close to predicting like Sinners for Best Picture. I was this close
Mm.
because I was watching the Oscar experts, final predictions, and he and Brother Bro went for Sinners. I'm like, oh my god! And I see a lot of other pundits going for Sinners. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Do I need to like? Are they seeing something? And then Oscar experts just had to put out the video where it says updating my Oscar predictions. I'm like, damn it! I was just
Yeah.
about to do it.
Did they? Do you know? Did they both go secret agent or just Justin?
Uh, I think in the video Justin said that they were both switching to secret
They both,
agent. I
because I went out for that one too, and nobody else was predicting it. But then I saw they went to it, and I'm like, okay, well, thank God, at least I'm not alone on everything, you know. Because
yeah
I kind of went for the lesser, like I went for Wound Me in supporting, and I went for Secret Agent International, and then obviously Leo, which is, you know, just a Hail Mary. But I mean, the other two like are kind of like they could win, but not a lot of people are picking them. So I, you know, I would have felt better the more people I see, the more people I see with me, the more better I feel, you know. But
yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess I am predicting Wonmi Masako. Does she count as No Guts, No Glory? Because on one hand, she's not the consensus, but I don't think she's that crazy of a prediction.
I don't either, especially based on the BAFTA. But a lot of people are doing that thing too that I don't like to do, or at least not anymore. And I used to fall victim to it, where you like put the intangibles in play, like, because everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, she won the BAFTA because she's British," but it's like you don't know that. Like you might think that or suspect that, but that's not something you can measure. Do you know what I mean? She still won it. She has the win. So like I don't do that shit anymore. But I think a lot of people are doing that, which is making them not predict her. So I was gonna
Like,
look because I think it was pretty lopsided. Let me look real quick because I'm on Gold Derby's site right now. But I think I don't want to update my picks, but I think I can still click on this. Let's see. Because, oh my God, dude, the Gold Derby. Have you been on there lately? They have so many damn ads. It's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of ditched Gold Derby for the most part ever since they put on Ben Shapiro. I'm
Well,
like, nope.
This is the first year I've even used it, but I don't blame you because the website fucking sucks. Let me
Yeah, no, I said this a million times. How is it that Award Expert, an app made by one dude, works better than Gold Derby's entire site run by a team of people?
No
Like,
doubt.
how?
No doubt. So on Award Expert, oh my God, is that right? Yeah, on Award Expert they have her in third with only 20% likelihood. The community. And I think it's something similar on Gold Derby. I don't know why I couldn't get it to come up just now, but I'll keep trying. But I think it's also pretty lopsided on Gold Derby, but I think she is in second there. But they have Tayana in second, and they have Amy Madigan at 54%.
Yeah, so it's so weird because it's like Wunmi Masaku just makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Amy Madigan would be my pick to win. I think that's like a crazy wacko performance. I would just love to see given an Oscar, but Sinners is in Best Picture, and it's not. And to be fair, I think the fact that she was British is one of the reasons why I predicted her to win. But to be fair, she also didn't come completely out of nowhere because she tied the most she tied for number 2 for the most critics wins for supporting actress. So it's not like she just is some wacko out of nowhere nominate
All right, can you see this screen share here? So, well, it'll come up for you in a second because you're on YouTube. It's like a 30-second delay, but it'll come up in a second. So, yeah. So if I go down to supporting, let's see. Yeah, so you'll see this here in a second when it catches up, but. Yeah, they've got Wound Me only 18% likelihood, the experts on Gold Derby. 81% Amy Madigan, which to me is a bit crazy. Oh, hold on. I gotta add you. Hang on, let me add your scene in here real quick because I forgot I changed the scene, so your audio went away, but I'll put it back in real quick. I know. I think it was. Yeah, I'll have you do the commentary again because I think it was when I switched scenes or whatever the hell they call it on this thing. Because I went to my screen sharing. All right, so say something.
Something.
Yeah, you're in there now.
All right, coolio.
Okay, so everybody. Go ahead and repeat. So I was just sorry, guys, but he's back now. His voice went out when I switched to the screen share, but I was just telling him that I feel like it's a little lopsided that Amy Madigan's 81% on Gold Derby. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, 81% is a little crazy to me. It's like don't get me wrong. I mean, winning Critics' Choice in SAG is great, but she's the only nomination Weapons has, and not only that, she also didn't even get nominated for the BAFTA. I don't know if that I'm not confident in that at all. No, not even if you were to think she was winning, I don't think it's I don't even think Wunmi Masaku's 81% likely. It's no. I think maybe 70-ish, but 80 is crazy.
Yeah, and Courageous is right too. To have Tayana at 0 is kind of crazy too, especially if one battle is winning Best Picture. I mean, I don't think she's gonna win, but 0 is insane. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. The Amy Madigan thing for me is and I know again the stats are what they are, and I agree with everything that you're saying in terms of the stats and the BAFTA strength versus what Amy has. But at the same time, for me, I don't know. It would have to be a sweep, really, because of the horror performance and being the only nomination. And the sole nominee without being a sweeper is just not something that usually is successful. And I have gotten burned so many times, usually in the nomination process. But if they end up getting nominated from a horror movie, it's so rare for me to be happy with the outcome. And I just know that from being a horror fan for so many years. So I'm a little cynical and pessimistic in that way too, that I just don't see them giving this to her because of the type of performance it is, since it didn't get, multiple nominations and she's not a sweeper. If it had
Yeah.
gotten, makeup to tie to her, or screenplay or casting or all of that, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, or even just a nomination at the BAFTA even. Um,
Yeah.
all that stuff's just kind of missing. So she could win, don't get me wrong, but if she does, I feel like it would be one of those things where we would really point towards the momentum and the narrative versus, what the circuit was telling us.
Yeah. Again, again, I would love it if she won. She would get my vote, but I'm just not confident. And like again, 81%. I feel is just it's a little too confident. That's like, uh like that.
That's
So
yeah.
like, whereas again, one Masaku, it's like, yeah, and people have been saying, well, I don't know how to describe it, and again, I do feel more confident in Wonmi over Taylor, because like, again, Globes was long ago, and that's not even the industry, so it's like, it is tough. Supporting actress is tough, but
hmm
I really feel like people are underestimating Wonmi Masaku.
I do too, and I think it's because they're dismissing the BAFTA because she's British, and I just think that's dangerous. I don't think you can do that. That's why I don't do that anymore. I don't do any of the abstract, like what people are thinking. If this Timothy controversy or whatever you want to call it about the ballet and all that stuff, I know that came out the day that voting was ended. So in my purview, it's not an issue anyway. If he loses, he was just losing anyway. That's what I think. But if, let's just say, that came out like a week before voting ended, I wouldn't be factoring that into who I was voting for, because I can't do that anymore, because I don't know what I don't know what Academy members are voting, and I've seen them vote for and give Oscars to people that did much worse than that, and that was out in pop culture and whatever, and they still won. So, I'm just not doing that shit anymore. If it's not something I can measure, or something that I feel like really strongly about, like, oh yeah, I know this is something that's going to happen, then I'm not going to try to mix in all those intangibles into like a potpourri of what could happen, because 9,000 of 11,000 people thought this or whatever. I just don't have the energy to do that, and there's no way for me to do that. So when it comes to her being British and winning at the BAFTA, like, yeah, that's a fact. Those two things are facts, but like, I don't know if they voted for her because she's British. You see what I'm saying? The only thing I know is that she won the award.
Yeah,
So
and I do feel like the British thing could be a factor, but we also must keep in mind the Oscars really fucking love Sinners.
hmm
Like the so it's like, her winning the BAFTA is not, like, that's not crazy to think about repeating that at the Oscars. I
right.
really don't think it's that crazy.
I
So
agree.
I don't know. I don't know. Given how much everyone's not predicting one, me, does she count as like no guts, no glory, or
I
people?
I th- I don't think I would say, I wouldn't categorize it as no guts, no glory, but I think it is. We're definitely in the minority. I mean, you can see that just based on these stats from Award Expert and Gold Derby. But yeah, everybody that I have listened to on podcasts and stuff is going Amy Madigan. Like, I've only
Yeah.
heard, I think my friend Brian, like Brian Rowe, I think he did win me.
Hmm.
But he's the only one, at least that I know of, besides you and me, that are predicting win me. So I have this thing
But
too, where I have this weird thing too, where I called Wound Me for the BAFTA like back in January, and then
uh-huh.
or I'm sorry, for the Oscar, and I said that
Oh,
if she's going to win the Oscar, she needs to win the BAFTA, and if she does, I'm staying with her, and then she did. So I'm like, well, now I feel like I can't, because like I called that like 2 months ago. Do you know what I mean? So now I like feel like I have to stay with it. So it's like an early prediction that could come true, but I think
the
she's
only,
stronger, honestly. But
the only thing that could have made me like shake up, like maybe I don't predict one me for the Oscar, is if Tiana Taylor won SAG, but she didn't. So I can't. So I just have to. I have to go with one me. Like, nothing else makes any sense,
right,
at least to me anyway. But yeah.
I agree.
Uh. Ooh. Ooh. Someone's asking in chat. What was that? Kara or
Oh, courageous,
Courageous
courageous. Yeah.
Hearts. What are you doing for animated short? The shorts, I'm very boring with shorts. I don't think about shorts a whole lot. I just go with what's the consensus, or what. I'm just kind of going with Butterfly, but who
Hmm.
knows? Like, I try to be as boring and generic as possible so that I could maybe get them right.
You do opposite of me then. I study these things big time. I watched all of them, did a video on them. talked to some of the people that work for Roadside Attractions that did the theatrical release this year, because they do like these I don't know what the phrase they use, but like these exit interviews of people that go see them or whatever. So I got some of those comments from Roadside and stuff, and you can kind of like analyze. It's kind of like anonymous ballots, kind of really, if you think about it. So you don't really get a ton of information, but you can kind of see like if there's a pattern, like, oh, they really didn't like this one or whatever. But it didn't really tell me anything at the end of the day, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't bother doing that much research because it's like it's not going to help me anyway. So why bother?
Pretty much. I think that like this year they were all so good that like I was just like it could be any of them really in most of the categories. I think documentary might be the closest one to a lot because it's got Netflix behind it with all the empty rooms. But the other two categories I really don't know. So I was like, if it could be these two or three, which one did I respond to the most when I was watching? Like was the most striking or like sat with me the most, and that was the tiebreaker for me. So. I went with two people exchanging saliva and the girl who cried pearls, along with all the empty rooms. So.
Yeah. Like again, it just seems very generic for me to say, but I do just I play it extreme. I never try to be risky with shorts. But
don't do this. Tell Green Paradise not to do this. Don't do this. Don't go Leo, bro. That's just me. I want to be on an island there because I don't want to. If a bunch of people do that, don't do that.
Believe me, I'm not going. There's no force on this planet that's going to make me do Leo. Absolutely not. Like,
no, but he's saying but he's saying he might, and I'm like, please don't do that. Don't do that.
No, Leo. No, I called Green Paradise Leo. See what you did, AJ. I know. I know Green Paradise. Their name is AJ. It's like, don't. Yeah, no, don't do Leo. I will cry. I will cry and just go.
Yes, I also am doing Girl Who Cried Pearls. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be Butterfly, it could be that one. I think Forever Green is a dark horse in that category because it's the really cute, kind of like family-friendly animation that they've gone for in the past. Butterfly would be the most like kind of important narrative with the World War II and Holocaust tie-in. But The Girl Who Cried Pearls is in English. It's like a French-Canadian production. It blends stop motion with digital animation. It's a form of both mediums, and I know Butterfly is very striking too with like the watercolor type of hand drawn animation. But for me, The Girl Who Cried Pearls was like the most visually striking. Like it really stood out to me amongst the other nominees, and I don't know if that could just be enough to be like that's the one they remember because it was just so like unique the way it looked, you know. But that category and the live action one are really toss ups, honestly.
Yeah. Again, I just like like the shorts are again. The shorts are just like they're the ones that they're just always gonna make or break my. Actually, no, they're not the ones that make or break my ballots because. Again, something crazy always happens. Like again, last year with the Nora and editing.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah. The chat. I threw up a poll over on YouTube. Is Sean Penn going to show up tomorrow night? 50% right now are saying no. 33%.
I would.
Yes.
But you guys know who will be at the Oscars tomorrow? Markiplier.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter earlier. I was like, what?
That's good. Like, I mean, he's not gonna be presenting, but I don't know. I just found that like kind of funny. I hope the camera is on him at some point. What?
Did you get into the back rooms or whatever? You excited for that one? My son's all about that one.
Oh, I'm very interested in like online horror adaptations being made into movies. Like those are interesting.
Yeah.
The back rooms, like. I feel like this is an interesting concept, especially like usually I am a little bit wary of the creator being involved in the writing of an adaptation because sometimes it doesn't go well. Like, sorry, Five Nights at Freddy's fans. I think the Five Nights at Freddy's movie sucks. I haven't seen the sequel, but I think one of my biggest issues with that is that Scott Cawthon doesn't know how to make a good narrative, and the only reason why people think he does is that Matt Pat is good at making game theories, which he doesn't even do anymore because he's retired. But like, so I'm kind of wondering how the Backrooms is going to turn out, but I'm looking forward to that because I think it's just an interesting concept. I mean, good God, they have Renate Reinsva and Chiwetel Ejiofor, so and Kane Parsons. Oh my God, born 2005. I'm significantly older than this kid.
I know, it's
I'm just
crazy.
like, God, he's accomplished so much more than I have.
But I'm looking at the cast and I'm just like, and A24's got it. I mean, it's probably gonna be really fucking weird. But my son like knows all the like YouTube, I guess, short films that led to this, and he was like, we saw the trailer, and he was like, they did really fucking good in that, and he was like explaining to me the shots in the trailer and how they're like from certain videos that were on YouTube, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know all this? You're 12, first of all, but second of all, like, I think it's gonna have a really big following from people that followed Kane on YouTube and stuff, which is really cool. But and then on top of that, it could be like one of those like creepy, atmospheric A24 horror films for people that don't know the story, you know. So it might be cool.
Yeah. I'm looking at your screen. Avan Jogia's in it? I didn't even know that. He played Beck on Victorious. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I didn't know who that was either. But there you
go.
Yep. Who's this?
I Party with Vic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, there it is. I Party with Victorious. That was the crossover between iCarly and Victorious.
But you get
God,
you get Renate Reinsva, and I'm there, dude. I think this one right here might be an Oscars player this year, by the way. Hopefully for her.
Wait, Backrooms? Oh,
no, I'm sorry. You can't see my screen yet. Fjord.
Oh yeah, Fjord. This is one where I'm kind of waiting to see the response. Like, I don't know how to approach this film.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Laudable Llama says Kane isn't the original writer. It's an internet meme originally. He's adapting it. Yeah, that is true. Cool. The Backrooms started off as the Backrooms started off as not like a meme as in funny meme, but it started off as like this kind of, actually I think the better word to describe it is a creepypasta over on 4chan, which, you know, you don't want to go into 4chan nowadays. Most of it's just racism, but basically the Backrooms was like this creepypasta on 4chan that kind of like, it consisted of one picture of like a closed down shop that had like these striking wallpapers, and that was basically the premise for where Kane made the first short film.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I didn't know any of that, so that's cool. I wonder if my son knew all that, but that's cool. Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes, Sunny Bear. I see your comment. She was in A Different Man. She was really fucking good in that movie too. And they're gonna be reunited in that Ford film too.
And also like that's gonna be good marketing for the Backrooms. Like Academy Award nominee Chiwetel Ejiofor and Academy Award nominee Renate Reinsva. The Backrooms,
sure.
like,
yeah, without a doubt.
And Avan Jogia from Victorious. Here I am once again.
All right, I'm gonna wrap the stream up here, Christian. But I'm gonna try to pop in on yours tomorrow too if my kids let me. Real quick though,
all right.
I'll put you on the spot. So, what's one prediction that this is not going to be an actual prediction of yours, but something that you could see happening that's really crazy that nobody's going to predict, but it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility tomorrow night?
I mean, I'm going to be completely real. Sinners winning Best Picture. It could happen. I can't predict that right now. I don't think I can. But all it needs is like one or two extra awards, and then boom, it's like or hell, God, I mean, or I don't want to say God forbid, because I would actually kind of love this to happen. But like, if this actually happened. Supporting actor happens, and like, that's the first award of the night. Let's go. And somehow Delroy Lindo's name is read. Then okay, Sinners just won Best Picture at that point. Like, you have to say that. Like,
oh yeah.
So I think like if there was like anything that could, like, the biggest crazy thing that could, like, the most likely crazy thing that could happen would maybe be Sinners winning Best Picture. Because if it takes up an extra award or two, but the thing is, I don't know which of those awards it would be, because a lot of them would be almost on equal playing field. So by that logic, I have to say Best Picture. But oh Oh, and again, I was this close to predicting it, but I just don't know if I can. I wanted to, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I can't either.
Kugler
I
and
mean,
Pete.
I wouldn't be mad about it, but I can't either. I just feel like it's just one battle's just too strong, man. I mean, even with the late surge, I don't think it would have been enough to put it over that, 50 whatever percent it would need.
I mean, it could. I mean, again,
could.
it might.
It could.
It's just for me. It's like barrel, like for me, it's almost a coin flip, and it's just kind of landing on one battle, I guess, because I think there is a genuine shot that it could happen. I just don't know what pieces need to tumble in order for that to happen.
Yeah, no, I hear that. For me, I think the craziest prediction I can think of that's in the realm of possibility, but nobody is going to see coming, would be Surratt winning sound. I feel like that's
Oh,
Oscar coded shit that they would do. That like no, everybody be like, oh shit, I should have seen that. But I
oh,
don't think it's gonna happen. But
I have Sinners at number 2 for sound.
yeah, I don't think it's
Like,
gonna happen. But if it did, I'd be like, I should have thought about that a little harder. But yeah,
again, like I said, I have if I don't have Sinners winning an award, and I have it winning 5 right now, it is most assuredly at number 2, because oh god, again, something, it is genuinely possible that something crazy could happen, but I just don't know where it would happen. I mean, it is going to happen. Something crazy is going to happen.
oh, yeah,
I just
for
don't know
sure.
where.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Something's definitely gonna happen. I don't think it's
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna cut you off because I had you in here already. You're still there, right?
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Christian, thanks for joining though and hanging out. I appreciate you. And
Anytime, and also like before you say goodbye to my viewers on my members stream, because there wasn't really a lot going on before I jumped on.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Hey guys. Thanks for including me in that too, Christian. I'm gonna do a thing with my members tomorrow night for the red carpet, like a little pre-show thing with them. And
Oh
then
yeah.
I'm not gonna be streaming during it though, because it'll be impossible for me to do that with my kids here and shit. So
Oh,
I'm just gonna record
oh
my
yeah. No.
reaction and put it up Monday or something like that. So, but
Yeah, I'm going.
yeah. Hey, have fun though. Not just you, everybody watching. Have fun. Be nice to each other. It's okay. All these movies are phenomenal. The top two that are in the running, they're both great. Whatever wins, I'm fine. It's fine. We're all good. It's just great. It was a great year for film, and I can't think of any crazy outcome that would make me angry except for Kate Hudson winning lead actress. But otherwise, I'll be fine. So, Christian, you want to send them out with anything before I end it?
I will send them out with something. As when it comes to both films being great, are both great? Are both of them great?
I think so. I think so.
I don't know.
Oh
I don't know. I think what I think one's significantly better than the other.
Let me get my Nora
No!
platform here. Show that to
No!
you real quick. 2 years in a row for you, man. That's gonna be good. I'm excited for you. I know you'll be happy. All right, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me for this, and thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the super chats and being here. You guys are awesome, and I hope you enjoy the Oscars tomorrow night. If you're a member to the channel, I'll do a little red carpet pre-show with you guys. Everybody else, I'll see you after the show when I give you my reactions, which will be fine. They'll be fine. Until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate you, man.
Too. And as the Awards Garage always says, be sure to keep your trophies in your garage.
That's right. I don't say that, but I should start saying that. That'd be good.